Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Calvin.
And welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that.
I'm not even going to ask you how your week is. Let's go ahead and move into
It's been long.
Dat Happened with Joe.
Very long.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Whatever.
And That Happened with Joe. I'm just going to rant about things I found out on TikTok because I did not have space or energy to look at like serious stuff at all. So there is currently a not even a trend. This poor girl posted what she thought would be like a cutesy moment between her and her boyfriend, and that is not how it was perceived, unfortunately. To give you some quick history, there's a whole incident around the pandemic about a couch guy, and this latest one they're calling Couch Guy 2.0. The initial Couch Guy, way back when during the pandemic, this was a situation where a girl was visiting her long distance boyfriend. He had gone away for college. When she shows up at the apartment that he shares with two other roommates, she comes in there to like some music that she set up and everything, arms wide to see her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's sitting on the couch with two other females. And when he sees her come through the door, he does this weird lean forward. So like his arm he's got one arm leaned towards the girls where he's sitting at, and his other arm is free, right? Like up. So he sees her and he just leans over, and the arm that's tucked, you see it grab a phone. And then he gets up and hugs his girlfriend. But the theory that everybody was running away with was that he was getting some girl's number. And then when his girlfriend came in, he was trying to slide his phone back into his hand. That was the theory.
But there's two girls sitting there.
Okay. Have you seen the video I'm talking about?
No. I'm just saying there's two girls sitting there, so
No, it's him on a couch, okay, and with two other girls.
yeah.
Okay. The two girls, there's one girl that's sitting really close to him, and then there's another girl like
He's
in her own corner on the couch.
in this
And
is
he's sitting really close to the other girl.
in his apartment, right?
Yeah.
That should be a red flag right there.
Okay. So
I'm just saying.
the internet thought that he was trying to get the girl that he was sitting close to's phone number in his phone, and then was trying to discreetly get his phone back from her while the girlfriend had showed up.
Why? He's already talking to her and they whatever, sure.
So it turns out none of that was true. So it turns out she was like, no, he already had his phone. He was just surprised to see me. But the internet had already painted this dude to be some kind of floundering cheater, and he was stepping out.
The internet is always wants the worst to happen to make fun of you.
That's true. But the other thing is, this happy reunion that she thought she posted, it wasn't that either. Because he wasn't, I guess for her, because she knew him, she felt like it was a really happy moment. But other people don't get the context of that because they don't have the history. You would think from that example alone, people would not do it. But no, it's still social media.
Would that stop anybody from doing anything?
It stopped no one. So Couch 2.0 is the latest one that happened. This girl, it's New Year's Eve. This girl had previously told her boyfriend she wasn't going to be able to come out and see him. They're also long distance because she had to work.
Of course.
But she decided to surprise him instead. So you see her coming down these stairs to surprise this guy. He is being distracted by his other friends, so he doesn't look behind him as she's coming down the stairs. And when she gets down the stairs, you see her put her arms out to like hug him, and he just stares at her. He doesn't move. He looks around. He looks everywhere but her. He starts rubbing his ring finger on his left hand. And then as she tries to go to hug him, he pushes her away. She posted it thinking it was a cute moment of surprising her boyfriend. The internet was like, girl, that guy doesn't like you, let alone know you. He don't know what this is.
This sounds more and more made up now, thinking about it.
It's
hearing it
not.
again.
I'll show you the video.
I think
But
it is. That's just my opinion.
it's
I think
not
it is.
it's not staged. It's not staged. So then she's like, no, you guys don't understand. Let me show you from a different angle. So she has another angle of her coming, like somebody's taping her go down the stairs. So it's seeing him from above, and it doesn't look better because then you can see how hard he pushes her away. It doesn't look good. Then she follows it up with, no, it was really good. And you see, like, I guess with the aftermath, once he's accepted she's there, it's just him by himself dancing. It doesn't help sway anything. Then her friend gets involved and posts a video, talks about how she was at the party, and she was like, no, he's just awkward, guys. He's just awkward. He didn't know what to do when she showed up, but he was so happy she was there, and he was introducing her to everybody. It's not that serious. And she kind of chastises people and is like, you led this girl to privatize her entire account. She wanted to share a happy moment, but now y'all wanted to ruin it for her. And it's people going, is you the other girl? Were you the other girl? Were you the other woman that he was seeing and then got surprised because the girlfriend was there? She didn't help anything either. And it's been the highlight of my week right now because it's hysterical. It's hysterical. And so Calvin the video. But
Whatever.
my thing is, I do find it interesting that as long as we have had the internet,
Why was
people
her?
still don't know. They're still more concerned with getting views and getting likes than they are about how this message is going to be perceived.
Exactly. They don't care about how the message is. They care about getting the views and likes.
Yes,
That's all they care about.
It's very
So I
interesting.
don't care when they get upset or mad when it doesn't go the way they thought it was going to go, and pretend to shut everything down.
This is Couch Guy. This is the original Couch Guy. I'm showing Calvin how this girl comes into the apartment.
It's a party.
Kind of. It's not really a party. They're just all hanging out. And she goes to surprise her boyfriend. He's sitting on the couch with two other girls. He does this weird lean over. All of a sudden, he got his phone in his hand. And he does hug her, though. He does hug her.
What? Who's this?
It was what? The girlfriend posted this thinking, oh, it's going to be a cutesy moment of me reuniting with my boyfriend.
Here's
the
what
internet
I
will
would
love it.
say. The internet is going to try to find the worst way to make you feel stupid. Number one. Number two, it looks like the other girl's leaning towards the other girl and that his phone was just sitting between the both of them. And he goes to pick up his phone at the same time,
There's
too.
3 girls on this couch. You know that, right?
Whatever.
There's one that's like hidden behind him. But what people couldn't get over is why is his arm like leaned towards the girl? It's weird when she comes in that he lays
First of
over
all,
like he does.
He's sitting at an angle. It's too many people on that little ass couch. That's what it looks like.
So, but people were hyper fixated on
And
like,
two-
why did he do it this way?
And two, do you want my opinion? I do think he was trying to get a number and he pulled his phone back.
This is somebody breaking it down. They're going to circle all this stuff. But he says no. And now fast forward a couple of years, they're actually engaged.
So what? Who cares? They got over it. They could have moved on. Anywho,
They did move on.
like I said, I think a lot of this stuff, that one might have not been staged, but I think anybody else trying to do the same thing
Mm-hmm.
is probably staged, most likely. And I really don't kind of care.
You said it's most likely.
Yeah.
They're going to show us the whole video.
I
So
don't.
this
I
is Couch Guy 2.0. I think they're going to show the whole video. So this is Couch Guy 2.0. She comes down the stairs.
She's behind him.
Yeah, she comes down the stairs because
Yeah.
the guys were distracting him, so he couldn't see her come down the
He's
stairs.
looking around.
He's looking around. Notice he hasn't interacted with her.
He's in shock.
Okay. And then he pushes her.
He pulls her closer, then pushes her.
Uh-huh.
It's like he catches himself. I don't care. Seems like a
But
dude-
it's people being like, does he even know who you are? Because he is awkward in it. He acts like a robot. He kind of looks around.
yeah. It's like
And he didn't pull her close. She walked towards him and he pushes her away.
yeah.
He didn't pull her at all. So she does it from another angle and you can see her walk up and him go and push her hard.
I don't care.
But my thing is, okay, like you said, you know the internet, first of all, they want to poke fun at something. But also, secondly, why would you show only that part of the clip?
It don't matter.
If this was a happy reunion, why wouldn't you put this in the best light?
Whatever. The internet is nothing but a troll
That sometimes
Place.
likes good things.
that every once in a while is okay with good things.
It's
but
just-
they prefer to troll people.
It just cracked me up because not only are people having full like armchair psychology discussions of how like you can tell
Don't
he's
know
not
why.
faithful and yada yada yada. We don't know anything about this
Well,
man.
these people put more time and energy and stuff that actually affects their lives.
But
be
between
better.
that and then the friend chastising the internet, being like, you guys should have known better. You really hurt her. Like the internet cares. It is hysterical. It was cracking me up.
I think it's more funnier that she's looking to the internet to be responsible.
Yes. Yes. You can't control what these other folk do at all. Hilarious.
The internet is not a place for responsibility.
It's not a
At
place.
all.
I think they were hoping to just get attention for like what they thought was a cute moment. They did. They got attention. Not the attention they wanted, but they got some attention. So
I think they just wanted attention.
it was very interesting. The other thing that I was going to talk about was the loneliness pandemic that is spreading apparently, and what led to that. But honestly, I don't want to. We kind of talked about everything originally. So
Well, I like with the conversation we had earlier about that. I like I said, I think it's my generation trying to prove the generation before them that we can do it better than them, and two, also us with this trope or this belief that you you have to do all this work on yourself and get all this help and get all this see all these psychiatrists, see all these people, but you got to do it by yourself. You can't do it with somebody.
well, part of it you do have to do by yourself,
What I'm saying is,
but
like,
it is
you don't
recognizing
have to be alone to do
yes,
work on yourself.
but also recognizing you don't have to be alone. I'll agree with that.
You
Yes.
can be working on yourself and be with somebody.
So, well, I think it depends.
It,
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to be by yourself first, and then you can get with somebody.
that
But you gotta
means
be good by yourself first.
that's if you're in a horrible place,
Some people are though. Some people are in a horrible place.
because some of that I think is some of that, not all of it. Some of that I think people choose to be.
I don't know about choosing.
They would rather because it's easier for them. It's easier for them to deal with it.
Uh-huh.
Vice actually dealing with it. I don't know.
What I think it is like you said, the generation that raised this latest generation where all this loneliness is apparently happening. It was very much a situation of like we're not buying into the package of marriage because we've seen how it does not work for everyone.
Yes.
Like every time.
Yes.
Which is fine. But I think they
And
kind of
we
it led to like destructive methods.
Yeah, and we started to be in relationships for other means other than love.
Yeah. We
We want to do it for financial reasons now,
well,
or
no, it's always been fine. Marriage
trying.
has always been financial reasons.
Not really.
Yeah, that's the whole point of marriage. Women were chattel basically. You got married to secure land, to secure rights, to secure money.
Sure, whatever. I think it's more of a like exchange.
It's
We're
always
gonna
been an
do
exchange.
this to be together because hey, it benefits both of us better if we're together.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter if we like each other or not.
Well, no, that's always been it though. Like arranged marriages, that's exactly what that is.
I'm not talking about arrange. I'm talking about you go out and you meet somebody, you get together, you actually like this person, you end up fall loving this person, and then you get married. I'm not talking about your mom set me and you
No,
up.
you said people were getting married for financial reasons, which is what an arranged
A lot of,
marriage
but I'm
is.
saying that a lot of people now are just getting married for financial reasons.
Okay, which is what an arranged marriage
It has
is.
nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm
You
talking about two people who meet each other and they be like, okay, she's like, well, okay, he has a lot of money, so at least I'll be comfortable.
yeah, people have always done
Forget
that though.
what I'm saying to you. I think we do it more now than they did.
Actually,
Back
they're
then.
not even doing that now. That's why it's a loneliness epidemic. They're not even getting that
What I'm
far.
saying to you is my generation. I think we started to look at marriage as what I can get out of it
It's
instead of being in a relationship.
the reason I disagree is because it's been like that forever. People getting married to secure stuff that they don't have. It's been
And
like that.
what I'm telling you is,
And
I
that's part
understand
of what
that.
Gen X was
I'm
rebelling from,
what I'm
was
saying.
doing it that way.
What I'm saying is, we started to really take relationships out of it and just started doing it for reasons other than being in a relationship.
Here's what this is why I disagree. Gen X in particular, when you look at the marriage stats for that, it was all about the relationship. That's why they weren't getting married. It was all about the relationship. They were more interested in creating a foundation with somebody,
Who the
but
hell is
not
Gen
get
X?
married. You're Gen X, Calvin.
And we were more. We didn't. It was less about relationships and being with somebody because you want to be with this person.
No,
think
it was
it's
the other way around.
More about, hey, this person.
It was the other way around. Because women were entering the workforce
Sure, whatever.
more,
Okay, cool.
and
Anyway,
they were learning they didn't have to be married to be financially stable. That was the beginning of Gen X.
okay, whatever.
Millennials kind of really cemented that. Like that's when we started looking into mental health a lot more, and it was like, can I take care of myself before I can start taking care of other people? And then you get Gen Z who was like, I'm not jumping into anything, and I'm not going to necessarily waste my time with anything and invest like that unless I know for sure it's gonna it's gonna pan out.
Whatever. People just, it's all about, it, I think it's more about technology. People want things done faster.
They
And
definitely
when
do.
it's not done fast, they lose interest and they want to change something because it took too long to, I guess, get to a point where they thought that point should have been a long time ago.
It is interesting to me, especially
So,
with the technology push. A lot of it is aesthetic. So, and I mean, there is a whole conversation of like how attraction is majority of how a relationship gets started, right? Like you see somebody, you're attracted to them. That's what initiates the relationship. But people are finding out that there's more steps after that and they don't want to do the other steps. They just want to do
exactly.
the
They wanted
attraction
everything to be
part.
bottled up in that first step. They want everything done
They're
fast.
like, you're good looking. Why is this not working? And it's like, nah, it's not how this works.
Exactly. So I think that's the biggest problem now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fast enough for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know why. They don't understand. Hey, it's not a computer. It's not your phone. Relationships take time.
Well, so there also is conversation around how women are leaning into this as well because of technology. Even for the guys, it feels like there's a lot of opportunity, so you don't have to necessarily settle for the first one or whatever, that kind of mentality, like, there's grass is always gonna be greener somewhere else, but in proceeding like that, they never get to invest into anybody, so
And
there's
two,
that.
there's also this push to where you either you have to be one way. You have to be a man's man, or you have to be a submissive woman.
That's the extreme side of it,
And I
yeah.
think the extreme side of it is what's being seen more often, or
I think it's just the loudest.
yeah, they have the loudest platforms
Mhm,
on the internet now.
mhm.
So that's another thing too.
But I mean, especially with the loneliness epidemic, I see how that led to its rise.
And that's
Because
why
if you've got somebody who's struggling with making a meaningful connection with somebody, and they're like, "Man, why is this so hard?" And then they're listening to this insane podcast of dude bros who are like, "It's the women nowadays, y'all. They're
so
just not doing what they need to do. They're not womening like they need to women."
and also yeah, I think people are getting a lot of their ideas and information from the wrong people.
Yes. Yes. I mean, on the one hand, I think it's good that people are trying to create better foundational self. That's great. But I also feel like it's come at a cost. So it's very interesting to me right now how this is all panning out. And it is cracking me up because when you look at people are like our age on the cusp, like how you're technically Gen X, but you're also kind of millennial and vice versa for me. It's very interesting to see how like that dynamic works. Because not all of us are happily married. Some people are divorced, some people never got married or whatever, but how we approach dating is very specific and very different than how the younger generations are approaching it. It's very
Mm,
interesting.
We relied on talking to somebody, meeting
We
somebody.
had to. We there was no there was no other
What I'm saying
option.
to you is there we
But I think in the fact that
I
we
think
had to do it that way, it's led us to have more
and my
opportunity.
thing is they don't think they can do it that way. So
They don't want to.
and that's the issue.
They don't want to do it that way.
That's the issue. Sometimes old fashioned works.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I know people hate to say it, but sometimes being the old fashioned
Yeah.
works. It's just and that's the issue. And that's why they can't be in the same room with each other long enough because they
Uh-huh.
don't know. It's not that they're being awkward; they just don't know how to communicate.
It's very interesting to when I'm hearing conversations with especially younger people, Gen Z and the like, when
And
they're like, "I'm not dating no brokey," and it's like, "He's 20. What kind of money you think he got?"
exactly.
They're gonna
And oh, by the way, you're broke too.
Right, what are you talking about right now?
So what are we really saying?
What?
And two, I think it's more about they don't know how to live in the moment.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah,
They don't. They don't know how to go out and just have a good time.
without a phone. Correct. Yeah,
Exactly.
I
Or
agree.
just have a good time without having to document everything.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. How to be in the moment, yeah.
They don't know how to make what you call that memories.
They know how to make them. They put them on Instagram.
I don't think they
They put
do.
them on TikTok. They put them on
I don't.
Facebook.
I don't. I guess in their way, but I don't think they know how to organically.
Like be in the present moment
Yeah,
memory.
and make memories without documenting. Some of the time, some of my best memories of me reliving it in my head,
Mm-hmm.
or talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you strike up a conversation with somebody that was there with you, and it's different.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody else might remember small details that you forgot, and then you guys can go on a tangent for like 30 minutes talking just about that.
Right.
And then you genuinely enjoying each other's company and time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they know how to do that.
I think they don't want to. I think you're right. I think they don't know how to,
I don't think
and I don't think they want to.
I don't think it's that they don't want to. I think they want to. I just don't think they know how.
I disagree because I see a lot of that as old-fashioned.
And that's what I'm saying. I just don't think they know how.
No, they know how.
They wanna do
just think it's slower.
They want to do it in their own way,
They want to do it faster.
but I don't think they know. I just don't think they know how. It's easy to say I want to hang out with this person and kick it with this person. But now y'all hanging and kicking it, and neither you know what you want to do, and you just staring at each other.
No, they know what to do. So the reason I say that they know what to do is that they know how to set it up, but they don't want to invest the time to do it that way. Because that way takes longer.
No, they want to. They're too busy doing this the whole time they're doing it with the phone in their face, doing it, trying to show everybody.
But they also don't want to invest that time. Like I told you, my coworker, who he only does 30-minute dates. He does 30-minute lunch dates.
He doesn't want to be with that. He wants to find out in 30 minutes, can I sleep and bang this person?
But he's not the only one. There's girls that do it. There's other people that do it. Like that is right now, people who are dating, who are younger, that is how they are approaching it.
I'm not.
And that part I don't get. You're interested in somebody. I'm gonna have a daytime lunch meeting with you, basically.
And just like you
and
said,
you got 30 minutes. Like
and,
what?
And two,
what?
And like I said, I don't think they're not even taking the 30 minutes to get to know that person because they're too busy in their phone trying to make it. And then I think it's more about them trying to make it look like they're having fun instead of having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make it bigger than what it is.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I have no problem not having fun.
It's a lot of time. That's a lot of time that you're not talking to the other person.
Exactly. But they rather do that than to actually talk to the other person. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fake.
But
that's they put more time in being fake.
I don't think they see it. I don't think they see it as
They
fake.
don't. That's the thing. They don't.
But to your point, I think they think the other way of going about it is just old fashioned, like outdated. They don't think that that's how you should approach it now.
I think a lot of them are.
To be fair to them, it wasn't a 100% guarantee when we were doing it that way either. It wasn't 100% guarantee that you were going to hit it off.
I think a lot of them are trying to go back to something similar or close to that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we tend to be cyclic.
And that's why they complain about the party scene and going out and hanging out.
Well, they complain because nobody's actually doing that. So
that's what I'm saying.
There's that.
So now they're trying to get in places and atmospheres where that's happening.
It is surreal to hear somebody who's like just turning 20 complain that they can't party like we did during Y2K. They say it exactly like that. I wish we could party like it was Y2K. I'm like, do you know what Y2K means? Y2K was not a decade. It was a singular year. Y2K was the year 2000. That's what Y2K stands for.
And that's not.
It's 1 year.
And it's not about partying. It's about we thought the end of the world was about to end anyway.
But it was also we didn't have anybody to document what we were doing. So we were out and crazy. We used to go to the woods with strangers to dance for no reason.
I just like to add that's some white thing. That's not anything I've ever done. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
We had bonfires like at 2 a.m. for no reason.
That sounds like some rich uppity. We got money stuff, so we got everything.
Money.
So
we stole pallets from the stores.
Let's go do something that we saw rednecks do. Let's go do a bonfire. Yeah, let's dance around a fire and drink the cheapest vodka we can find.
The cheapest.
We gonna start the fire.
The cheapest. What alcohol that is dumb cheap can we drink?
We gonna start the fire. Stupid.
Let's do it. I heard somebody got wild turkey because we don't care about our insides. Let's go ahead and do it.
I did a bonfire one time, and I was like, "This is the worst experience I've ever had in my life." Meanwhile, the rest of my homeboys and friends are across the border partying up with Little John.
In Mexico?
Yep,
I'm confused.
yep. Little John was doing something in Rosarito.
Why weren't you there?
Yeah, why wasn't I there?
I'm confused.
I was at a bonfire.
With me?
Yeah.
That bonfire was the worst bonfire you had ever been to? Was
Yes.
that was the only bonfire you've ever been to?
Yes.
Interesting.
I will never go to another one.
You never did.
Unless I will go to a hanging before I go to one of those.
That's extreme.
I just wanted, yeah,
That's
how
extreme.
that's how extreme I would not ever go again.
That's really extreme. And dark.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
But the point is, we did dumb, crazy stuff. Somebody was trying to explain what it was like clubbing in the 2000s and explaining it to like somebody who was younger. And this younger person was staring at them like, that's not real. They were like, just like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get dolled up with your best friend. You're going to get you a jean mini skirt and a tube top. Okay. The biggest hoop earrings you can find. And we're going to go. You're going to go in your platform wedges. We're going to go to this club. If you can get there before 8, you don't got to pay anything. So we're going to get in the line so we can get in there without having to pay. Then you're going to get in there. It's going to be dark as hell. It's going to be dark as heck in there. And the music's going to be way too loud. And you're going to dance by a speaker. And then you're going to feel somebody behind you rubbing on your booty and grinding. And you're going to dance with him. You're not going to ask any questions. You're just going to start dancing. But you're going to trust your friend. You're going to stare at your friend and trust your friend and do the signals to find out if this guy is worth grinding on or not. And your friend's going to give you the nod or she's going to give you the shake. And that's how you know you got to get out of there. But if she gives you the nod, it's good. And you're just going to grind on this stranger. You're not going to ask nobody's name. You're not even going to look at his face. You're just going to grind on this stranger in the dark for the club night. Lights are going to come on once it's time for the club to close. You're going to look insane. You're going to have sweated out everything. The makeup's going to be running down your face. Everybody's going to look like they have been drinking for weeks and just woke up. And you're going to look back at who you were grinding on, and you're going to get scared because they looked one way in the dark, and they don't look like that now with the lights up. And then you're going to hit Denny's. You're going to go to Denny's. You're going to point at a picture because you're too drunk to say what it is you want to eat. You're going to try to stuff that in your face, and then you're going to go to work. It was hilarious.
No,
It was hilarious.
we went out to have a good time and fun.
Mhm.
They go out to show off and show out.
We showed off and showed out in our business attire. We did it. We did that as
But
well.
we were having fun. They're just trying to sell a persona.
They were trying to explain club night, like how there were different themes for different nights.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
They're
I made the
like, what do you
mistakes.
mean?
I made the mistake to go to a club on Latin night. I'm like, I don't know how the hell y'all dance this fast all night long. This is insane. I'll come back on hip hop night. When's hip hop night? Okay, I'll be back then. I'm
Right?
not doing this no more.
I don't know if you remember, there was like a country western bar that would play hip hop on like every other Friday,
Yeah.
and they had great drink specials.
I
And then they just gave it up entirely. They stopped doing it.
I partied from Monday to Sunday.
We all did.
Well,
We didn't sleep.
I partied 6 days a week,
We did not sleep.
and I went to work,
Mm-hmm.
and I did
Mhm.
that for like 2-3 years.
You kept
straight.
a spare change of clothes or shoes in the trunk of your car
I
or your
kept-
friend's car.
I kept a shirt and sneakers in my car.
Yes,
Just
that
in
was
case I
what
go
we
to
did.
a club, they'd be like, "You need a collar shirt." I go to my car, put on a collar shirt, come right back.
Yeah.
I kept different shirts. I kept different shirts, different shoes.
So,
They got to match.
so that's the other thing that's changed. They don't have those dress requirements like that anymore. They had them serious when we were clubbing,
So
but they stopped.
I partied. I had a club for every night.
We all did.
There was a club for every night.
We all did. Margarita Rocks on a Wednesday. Have fun. Aero Squadron on a Friday. Let's
and
go.
I hipped them. I don't know who got us going to Margarita Rocks. Somehow we ended up there on Wednesday.
Mhm.
We just go somewhere else. Then we started going there.
There were 2 Margarita Rocks.
So it was insane.
It was fun. But we also, like you said, we weren't
Let's go,
documenting
like, to,
anything.
like, we used to go to. There used to be a club called Work That, Twerk That. Now, that's a club name. Work that, twerk that. I'm not even making it up.
Oh my
We
gosh.
used to go to Blue Tattoo. Then you had,
Blue tattoo.
I think you, thir- sh- street, thir-
That was Gaslamp Corner if you went to Blue
gas slab. We
Tattoo.
went to Gas Lamp Quarter sometimes.
Yeah.
Went to, that's what one call a street. It's like, it's an alley. They put a whole building, a club in the alley. That's what it feels
I think
like.
it was called the Alley.
Yeah, something like that. It was so many places.
It was fun. It was a fun time.
We had,
It was a gropey time. Yo.
and then we
If
had,
you were a girl during this time, you're gonna get groped.
we
It might
had-
be good for you though. You might like
we
it.
had 94 Air Squadron. That's where all the sophisticated women went.
It was not. They were older. That was it. That wasn't really sophisticated.
women went. The woman that had self-esteem.
I just remember
for
people
like the first
being
hour,
mad about
2
doing
hours.
valet. I just remember them being like, they're like, you can park. They're like, you got to park so far away if you don't do valet. I'll just do valet.
Ballet was only $5.
They were so mad they had to pay though.
You couldn't tell me now I was balling. $5. Here you go, baby. There you go.
You didn't have a car. Nigga, what?
$5.
What? You did not have a car during this time.
I did. I
That-
bought. Well, after I came back, I had one.
Mhm.
We still going when I got my car and I valet parked. So, oh man,
It was a good time, but it was a different time for
wow.
sure. For sure.
Overseas partying, that was insane.
I'm sure it was illegal.
I drank so much
That's how you knew you lived.
and never got
Yeah.
alcohol poisoning. I don't even know.
But can
how.
you imagine doing all of that and somebody fully videotaping you?
It was one time I drank from like 10 in the morning until like 1 that next day.
How do you
morning.
still have your liver?
1 that next morning because we were flying out that morning.
How do
around
you
to
still
3 or
have your
4.
liver?
We drank and partied from 10 until we got on the airplane like 4 in the morning.
That's too.
And that's when I finally went to sleep. The funny thing is people was out there partying way before me. I met people out there that was already into it.
10 a.m. in the morning.
We did first what we did was, so we got off the ship, got on our hotels.
This is when you're in the military.
Yeah, and they were like, yo, we going to the bar already. I'm like, I'll meet y'all there. I gotta wash clothes. I washed my clothes. Met them it was a Mexican restaurant in Australia, which was hilarious. They were there. They were already at least 15 drinks in. So meet them. Now I gotta play catch up. And this is when I didn't eat before I drank. And I would eat a little something, but I was just mainly drinking. So now I'm sitting there and I'm trying to catch up. And it's like the sun is up. All of a sudden, we're still sitting there eating, drinking. Now the sun is starting to go down. We're still sitting there eating, drinking. So we had another squadron that was relieving us. So pretty much the other squadron came out and met us. And they were like, yo, we getting together at this barbecue joint called Hog's Breath. And we're going to get together. We're going to meet the other dead and pretty much, I guess, spend some time with each other and whatever we'll do before we head out, fly back to San Diego. Went upstairs. I've already been drinking for like 6 hours. Went upstairs, got up there, met the other squad. So we up there drinking and partying. This is the first time, I think, where I've seen like bottle girls. And in Australia, they had females in like Victoria's Secret outfits. They're just like lingerie. And they're serving drinks. We're up there just having fun. Apparently I played pool. Don't remember. I played the piano. I don't remember. I don't even remember going up the steps or coming down the steps. All I know is we drank, and then we went to another club called The Bank. Went there and stayed there until, it was like midnight, almost 1. And then I had to make it to the other hotel where everybody else was staying and get ready to depart back, to fly back. But it was just one long day of drinking. and drinking. And drinking. Like I said, I don't even remember walking up steps, walking down steps. Apparently, I slapped people on their butts. Apparently, I played pool. I played the piano and all that stuff. I did so many things, and I don't remember half of them. But it was a great time.
That is the beauty of drinking.
But it was a great time, and I don't think they're able to make memories like that anymore because they're too busy filming everything. What? They don't even this generation don't even drink like that.
That's true. That's true.
Which is
they don't.
A waste.
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think you have to be drunk to have a good time. It gives you some interesting stories.
You don't, but it makes it all a little bit better.
No, I don't think I don't think so. I disagree.
Yeah, it does.
I had a lot of sober fun. I've never been a big drinker. I had a lot of sober fun.
Cause you were
the times I did drink, I got in trouble.
Well, yeah, you had a lot of fun because you were around a bunch of drunk people.
Okay.
And no idea is a bad idea when you're drunk.
No idea is a bad idea.
That's so. Yeah, I think I drank for like 12 hours, almost 13 hours straight.
That's crazy.
And then I got on a plane and slept all the way to California, 14 hours.
Woo.
Straight sleep.
Woo. But anywho,
I take that back. We had horrible turbulence.
Not horrible turbulence.
But when the turbulence was over and I thought I was going to survive, the turbulence was over. Sleeps. I got me that's some best sleeps I ever had.
I bet they were some of the best sleeps.
Oh. And I still got a story of actually us flying over there. We got so fucked up on the plane. Flying over there. We got kicked. We got cut off. The stewardess, they cut us off. Alcohol.
They had to.
People still going back there stealing alcohol.
Listen, people in the military now who have to travel overseas, do you know how many rules they have to follow now? So many.
And I will say, my bad. That's our bad. That's our bad. That's our bad.
So,
but enough of this going down memory lane.
That's it. That's all I got for Dat Happened with you.
That happened with you. So right. You want to move into Love During Lockup?
Yes, let's talk about Love During Lockup, episode 54. This is Chicks.
So we get introduced to a new couple. MJ and Willie finally made it their way onto the broadcast.
Polynesian community, shout out. Hello, fellow Tongans.
So pretty much MJ's thing is she's an divorcee that moved from Utah to San Francisco.
Mormon.
Her dad has, including her, has 36 kids.
Which tracks if she is following Mormon heritage.
When she said that, I am like, wait a minute, you got 35 siblings. And Javon's like, no, she said 30. She said 13. I'm like, no, she said 36.
Yeah, we had to rewind it. And for sure. He said the size of a small classroom. But
no, that's not a classroom, Javon.
My classroom had 30 kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right then.
What's the classroom? What was the classrooms y'all had?
It's like
8?
15.
We had big classes.
No. They cared. They want us to get an education. So they didn't pick 900 people into
I got my education.
into a class. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Sure you did. That California math, don't it?
Yeah, my California math. Blue ribbon school. Woo woo.
Anywho, so she's talking to a guy named Willie who's in jail for a lot of things. Forgery.
He did a lot of
drugs.
Things, which is why he had to be in jail.
I think robbery. I don't know. It's a lot of things.
They're all based in San Francisco right now. And the black set that is happening with what's his face? MJ?
Yeah, her.
No, who's Millie or Willie?
Willie's the guy.
Willie's black scent is throwing me.
I thought you throwing me. MJ's black scent.
She doesn't really have a black scent, but Willie do.
So, pretty much MJ has been having issues with drinking. So she's decided
she has a problem. She has addiction.
She has a problem with drinking. So she decided she's not drinking anymore.
She had a DUI. So that
a DUI
kind of also shoved
she
her
pretty much got in trouble driving 102 in a 45.
Wow.
So she decided she's going to cut alcohol off.
Yeah.
Also, she makes bad decisions when she's drunk.
Yeah, like sleeping with her ex-husband.
So apparently she went back to Utah to see her mom because her mom was diagnosed with cancer or something.
Yes.
While there, she was still dating Willie at the time. She bumps into her ex, drunk, and I guess they decide to have sex.
Because sure.
So Willie, she tells Willie, and Willie, she plays Willie's conversation with her. Apparently, Willie's like, no matter who's in the business or who's in the place, I'm not gonna do anything because that's how loyalty works. I'm like, dude,
Oh,
that first of all, that's a lie.
your recap of that was crazy. He said, "I don't care if the hottest girl comes up to me." That's what he said.
I didn't think I had to add that because I'm thinking pretty much what he's saying is a lie. It don't have to be the hottest girl. Just to be a girl.
I think he's just saying like, "Yo, what's the point of us being together if you're just gonna sleep with your ex-husband? What are you
It's
doing?"
easy to say that when you're in jail when you have nothing that you like in there.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
but he's also not wrong. She did cheat on him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying it's easier to say that when you don't have any options.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Or any options you like.
Mm-hmm.
Put it like that. So I don't know why she still decided to hang with people and friends who drink and try to get her to drink.
Yeah.
Her cousin's odd to me.
Right.
I don't understand her cousin's stance. Is her cousin? Because it seems like her cousin was kind of trolling her at the same time.
That wasn't her cousin. That was her friend.
I think that girl was her cousin. I think the
No.
person who pulled up and took her to the party was her friend.
No, that was her cousin.
Okay, whatever, sure. Anywho,
The girl that they ran up to the cross and
Yeah.
did all that stuff. That is her friend.
so the episode starts with her and her friend running to, I guess, through the woods or something.
No, they're on a
Hiking.
They're in a park actually.
They were hiking through the park and went up to a big ass cross in the middle of nowhere. And Willie calls. She's talking to Willie. She's telling how I love it, booty woo, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward, she lets him be known she cheated on him, whatever, wooty woo. And she's been celibate for the last year since then.
Mm-hmm.
And how she wants to make it work with Willie. And that's pretty much them. Pretty much all we got is really introduced to them two.
Them two, their issue with her cheating, him still being in jail,
I guess it's still an issue.
and people asking if she's just using Willie as a rebound.
Yeah. Well, her friend asking that question.
Mm-hmm.
And what's different this time?
But I think the overlying part of it is that there's a lot of religious and cultural norms that she is rebelling against, basically, by being with Willie, and they're a little concerned about that too.
Sure. I guess I don't know if it's a rebound.
She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah."
So was listening to believe they're gonna have an issue when Willie gets out.
If he gets out, I feel like he's not.
That too. I don't think. I already seen them once. I already know they're not gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
So, Savannah and Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, Savannah starts off the episode with her trying on butt pads, and Bradley going, "I don't see no difference."
She's like, "Can you tell the difference?" He's like, "Of what?"
So now she's going. She got to go bigger.
I got questions though. Do you think Bradley dates only black girls?
I don't know.
He keeps talking about how he likes a fat ass. I don't know too many fat ass natural white women.
Let's just start here. I think he's talking now and just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think big booties is a thing, so I don't think he's talking about black girls. I just think he just like a big booty in general.
I'm just saying they're in Richmond.
So I don't know. I don't know. Anywho, and then Savannah puts on her mom's wedding dress, and
Like a psycho.
makes Bradley very uncomfortable. And Bradley's like, "I can't talk to you until you change."
They're not even engaged.
So pretty much that's what happened. And then I guess the producer asked Bradley, "Does he want to marry?" He's like, "I guess eventually, maybe." I don't know, sort of. So I don't even know what Bradley wants to do. So I don't know why she already assumed that Bradley wants to be with her like that. Who knows? Maybe Bradley said, I'm assuming he says something to her and then says different things for the camera.
I'm confused by their dynamic because Bradley very much gives off like, "Yeah, I'll fuck this girl, but I'm not really with this girl" energy when it comes to Savannah. But also at the same time, like, he's not leaving. I mean, granted, he's in jail, but he's of the cast members, he's
Bingo.
the one that's closest to getting out.
Bingo. He has nothing else to do.
It's very interesting to me. Their dynamic is very weird.
So, and then the conversation takes a turn where they start talking about Bradley's sister. And they both agree that she's crazy or it's something with Bradley's sister that she's
Savannah.
has a temper and that it's easy for her to go to 0 to 100
We
real
learned that
fast.
later when they first talk about how Savannah has to set boundaries with his sister. She just made it sound like this girl's a bad influence and she can never tell where she's at with this girl. But then on the flip side of that, she talks about how loyal this girl was to her and how, like, when she had nobody, it was this girl who was like in her corner. They don't tell us why she wants to set these boundaries. They don't tell us if something happened that is why she's tried to do this. She also establishes that she's not been talking to her for like a month. And then all of a sudden she's talking to her and it's to tell her she needs to set boundaries.
Also, Bradley is in agreement. I don't know what happened, but Bradley's even saying, I don't know why you're talking to her. If you're still talking to her when I get out, we're done. So
I
I'm
don't
like,
even
that's
think he was
crazy.
necessarily in agreement with her setting boundaries. He was like, "Why are you even bringing this up?" Like his
He's
attitude
asked
was
her,
like,
why are you even talking to her?
"Yeah." He was like, "Whatever, just stop." Like it did.
You know she's not well. I'm like, that's crazy. But it seems like Bradley agrees that it's something's wrong with his sister too.
He definitely agrees that she should stay away, for sure.
So fast forward, I guess Savannah and his Bradley's sister meet up at a furniture store.
Mm-hmm.
And she pretty much tells her, I guess she needs to set boundaries. And to Bradley's sister is like, what the hell are you talking
The
about?
look on this girl's face is like it came out the friggin' blue. She's like, "What do you mean? What are you even saying right now?"
And pretty much that's when we find out that apparently none of Bradley's family likes Savannah.
According to the sister, but I can't trust nobody. I don't trust
Like I
nobody
said,
from this
it could
storyline.
be redneck money against redneck poor.
Because
Who knows?
first of all, the sister had no idea what Savannah was talking about. Savannah doesn't go into detail about why she needs to set these boundaries. She just goes, remember how we were talking and I haven't talked to you in like 3 weeks." And it's the sister going, "Who was in your corner through all your stuff, basically, through all your ish? Who was there? It was me. This is why the family doesn't like you." Savannah's never brought that up. We've never seen Bradley talk about it through the show. It just came out the blue that apparently the family doesn't doesn't like Savannah like that,
Could it be
according to the sister.
could it be the family blames Savannah for him being in jail and the sister being
What
or
does she
doing
mean
everything?
by the family? Because Bradley says when he gets out, he's paroling to his dad's. He doesn't say my parents. He says my dad. And
Apparently,
then with the sister, she's like the family.
so she could be
So
talking
the
about
mom,
the mom. Who knows?
is he even close with the mom? Because he's gonna parole with his dad. I got so many questions.
Who knows? But that's pretty much what's going on with Savannah and Bradley
What
and the
flagged
sister.
for me was the sister saying, "This is why no one wants to mess with you. It's about control for her," which insinuates that they've had a conversation like this before, where it was Savannah trying to control something. So it's very interesting.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. Episode 19.
I do find it interesting that somebody who confessed that they had their own addiction issues is quick to like be pretty elitist about somebody that they're also implying has addiction issues. It's a very interesting time frame for this. I don't need this in my life. I don't want to hang around her. And then you've got the brother who you're dating being like, "I don't know why you were. Why would you? Why would you? What are you talking about?" It's very weird,
Whatever. I don't care. It makes for some good TV.
I guess.
There was no Tia Rob, Kate, and Hunter.
And Kaylee.
Whatever. Uh, what I'm gonna start.
Mm-hmm. Kate.
So it's the day after Kate went in drinking, and
It's the same day.
just
She's still in the restaurant.
so she leaves her friends.
Remember, she was in the bathroom.
Yeah. So she comes back, says, "I need more wine," and then that's the end of that.
No, she finished her conversation with Hunter. They gave us like a cliffhanger of like what he was gonna tell her. Was he gonna tell her that he was still messing with Kaylee? He didn't cut off all the girls. She
So
tells her he's still talking to two.
so he doesn't tell her who she's talking to. He pretty much told her who he's talking to, and he's gonna cut it off. That's pretty much he lies again. Then we cut to Kate at a horse, I guess, ranch.
She's at
Sort
a
of, kind of
stable
stable.
taking care of a horse. I don't know if this horse is. They gave the implication that the horse is hers.
So
She's just brushing down this horse.
so now she does a little horseback riding,
Horses aren't cheap.
stops, gets off, and Hunter calls her again and is telling her that I guess he's ending it now,
Yeah, for realsies.
but he's really not. So she's like, yeah, he's like, I love you. This is the first time I heard him actually say, I love you and I want to marry you.
Mm-hmm. No, he never said I want to marry you. He said I can see us going the full way. That's what he said. I
Okay.
could see us going the distance.
Okay,
But
sure.
he tells Kaylee that he can see her marrying her.
So,
She's his twin flame.
and then after he says that to her, she goes, okay, whatever, reassures her. Cut to, he's
Kaylee.
now calling Kaylee with the rest of the time he has left.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Calls her. She says, hey, babe. And I went, I guess
Wedding
she
dress
went
shopping.
wedding dress shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's like, I gotta talk to you about something. She's like, okay. And we're thinking he's like, I'm gonna cut it off. But he's like, I got in trouble with our last
so, like I said, I was right. It was her that he got in trouble with.
He's like, I got a little spicy. We are now banned from having FaceTime visits and in-person visits.
And also got an extra 30 days added. Or
Yes,
60 days
30
added.
to 60, he said.
36
Yeah.
days added. So I like how he tells her what happened.
Mhm.
He doesn't tell the woman he just talked to what
Mhm.
happened. Anywho, she's like, that's sad, whatever with you. I'm sorry, whatever with you with this and that, whatever. And that's it.
For them,
That's it for them. Kate, Kylie, and Hunter. I still think there's another woman because at some point, the next episode we hear
I think it's made up.
what?
Kate, Kylie, and Hunter, I think it's made up.
So apparently somebody gets to their limit, they can't take it no more. And I guess pretty much says they're done.
Who says that?
I'm assuming, I don't know, it's either Kate or it's either
No one
Kylie.
says they're done.
Well,
There's a preview for
They-
sometime in the future. You hear a producer ask, so you made the whole thing up? And you hear a woman's voice go, yep, and laugh. And it sounds like Kaylee. To me.
It could be. So who knows? But that's what it sounds like. Someone's done.
Mm-hmm.
They snapped and reached their breaking point.
I don't think they snapped. I think they, for real, just created a whole fake scenario.
So
Because the show has also been promoting how the biggest con of the show is about to air this season.
okay. Simon Crystal. Pretty much it's Sam on his way to meet Crystal. But Crystal's not feeling too good because she's not hearing anything from her grandma. I think the grandma just didn't want to go and was hiding and didn't want to answer the phone for him or the door for him until he left.
According to Sam, she does this every time he goes to visit her.
Which leads me to believe she doesn't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Nor
But
does she want him over there.
What confuses me, though, is that Crystal, it's almost like she doesn't care if she sees him or not.
Because she doesn't.
You've got Sam pressed. He's like, we don't get a whole lot of time. I have a scheduled window to go and see her. I want to see her. I want to hold her. I want to see her face. And when they go to Crystal, she's just like, whatever. I don't
Crystal,
care. I don't care. I'll see you when I see you.
knows she's not getting out anytime soon.
She
So
said she
Crys-
hopes she does.
doesn't care. I think it's like you said. I think Crystal is in the girls.
Okay.
100% in the girls now.
I don't think she's a 100%.
I think
But I don't think she's invested in Sam.
100% into girls now.
I don't think 100%.
When I say into the girls now, meaning in the environment she's in, she's 100% into the girls now.
I disagree.
I think maybe when she get out, it'll change. But for right now, she's 100%
she's gay
into
for
girls.
to stay.
She's 100% into girls. And I think she's using Sam, like you said, to take care of her grandma.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't even think it's just to take care of grandma. I think it's to take care of her.
Well, her
and by extension, her grandmother.
and take care of her and her grandma.
Because she's sending him on errands for stuff that
I
she's never
think-
going to see.
It's like you said, she's trying to get Sam to set everything up for her. So when whatever the next 7 years when she gets out, she at least have something.
But the stuff that she's telling him to set up for, there's not longevity in it.
I don't think she cares.
I think it's control.
It's that, and she just wants something.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I want to see what menial tasks he'll do to say that he's interested in me.
And it sounds to me like the girl she's dating in there is hard to control.
So she's taking it out on
So
Sam.
she's taking out on Sam.
You know
So
what? I follow that logic. I track that.
so Sam, I guess, gets there
He's
5
frustrated.
minutes late, whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess whatever time they spend. And that's pretty much Sam. That's Sam and Crystal.
Crystal.
Crystal whole
Storyline.
for this episode.
Mhm.
It was him trying to get to her.
But it was also his
in time.
friend. His friend was still there. He couldn't even say goodbye to his friend properly because he needed to rush out the house to try to get to the visit for Crystal. And it's his friend being like, I hope he knows what he's doing. Because like he's sacrificing a lot.
So, and that's all we saw this week.
There wasn't another couple.
Sam, Crystal, Kate, Hunter, Kaylee,
It feels short.
MJ Willie, Savannah Bradley.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the MJ Willie took up the big bulk of it because we got a lot of backstory.
Yeah.
So okay.
Pretty much it was her birthday and she went to her birthday party.
Where they were like, take a shot with us. And she's like, I don't drink. And they were like, so? And so
Yeah.
like
So I'm like, good luck with your sobriety.
like, oh no. You know what? It's really tripping me out that Willie got a black scent. He reminds me of Jacob Fatu on WWE, who also has a black scent, and it's also from San Francisco.
Okay. Don't know what to do
So
with that
did you know
information.
Jacob is Rikishi's twin brother's son? I didn't know Rikishi was a twin.
Me neither.
He's a twin. Well, it makes sense because Jimmy and Jay are twins. And they're Rikishi's sons. But he's like legitimately their cousin. And he didn't want to get into wrestling. But then he kept getting in trouble. And he started a lot of time. And then when he got out to go on the straight and narrow, they're like, let's do wrestling. He said, okay. He's great at it.
Okay. Good for him.
Also, I just really love that a lot of them are married to black women. It's hysterical when they're like, oh, and here's their families. Look at all these black faces. What's happening? What is going on?
Good for them.
You said good for them.
We're gonna move on to 90-day
Before or last resort?
last resort. 90-day last resort.
Oh gosh, this show's a train wreck. Train wreck. We almost watched Florian swing at Jasmine. That nearly happened. Physical fist fight.
Yo, I thought he was gonna do something.
It looked like
he pushed Stacy out the way. That's why
the
Stacy
look on his face was like, "Fuck these cameras! You about to get all this heat? What you dump my drink?
You don't dump my drink. I need this.
Female, male, I don't care.
I need this. This is what gets me through all the plastic, all the. Do you know what I go through?
Do you know how I can keep these feelings down? It's this, Jasmine, and
It's
you dumped it.
Having sex to a dead chicken every night.
It's like, do you like making love to a plastic Barbie doll?
Or
Because I don't.
Or pig skin. Do you like that? Huh? Pig skin, huh? No. This is how I do it.
That's messed up.
Drunk. And you see Stacy try to grab him and
She started screaming.
And she throws a drink on him and he doesn't break contact with Jasmine.
Mm-mm.
Jasmine's standing there looking like she's second guessing it in her head. I'm like, because I think when she heard Stacy like, Florian, no, and he pulled away from her and almost pushed her down.
Calm, Florian, no. He was screaming it.
And then she threw the drink at him and Florian
screaming it. Get away from her.
Didn't care. And
he's drunk?
She's like, I was like, ugh.
They were lit.
And then here come drunk Gino.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning because it kicks off at the drunk part.
Yeah. So it starts off with the guys having a guy's day and the girls having a girl's day.
Mm-hmm.
The guys, of course, are sitting around drinking,
complaining immediately
about
how a lot of them failed the little sex therapy assignments
like
they were given.
only one person got the sex therapy right. It's the person that needs the alcohol to drink to have sex. Florian's like, I don't think none of these guys can make it to the altar. None of them. None. This is crazy.
I can't fault him because Rob is pissed that what's her face Sophie didn't touch him. He doesn't feel like she thinks he doesn't feel that Sophie's attracted to him anymore. You got Brandon who's in the same boat. He feels like his wife should be like leaping over all these obstacles to sleep with him, and she's not doing that either.
Brandon's wife wants him to grab her by the head and slam her head into the headboard one time, maybe a couple of times. Who knows? If she gets bruised, she gets bruised. If he dies, she
I
dies.
think she just wants enthusiasm.
She wants. She has the Ivan Drago thing. If he dies, he dies.
I just love that she had a conversation with Rob where she starts getting into it with him, and Rob's like, "Really? That's what's going on?" Like he doesn't tell her you should have this conversation with your husband at all.
But to me, it's the easiest. I think she's the easiest one to please
Agreed.
out of all the females who have issues.
I agree.
I think Sophie. I don't. I think she's uncomfortable with all the people, the cameras, all the stuff around.
Hmm.
I think she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't. She's. I think she's uncomfortable with all that.
I think she's broken. I think she's uncomfortable with talking, which it confuses me because she signed the waiver to be to be on the show anyway. And but yes, she's definitely uncomfortable talking about her sex life in public, but she still agreed to do the show. So I'm with Rob and confused about why we're doing
You
this.
can
Then
agree to do the show and still have boundaries.
you can have the boundaries, but you know that you're going to be videotaping you guys going through the sex therapy, the couples counseling, constant conversations about what's missing in your relationship is going to come up. And
And
for Rob,
two,
it is sex.
and two, like you said, I think she's also broken.
Yeah,
She's
they're
never.
both broken.
She's never
Rob
been.
is broken too.
She doesn't know how it's feel to be. I don't want to say valued, but to be
No, you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you.
the main star.
I don't know about main star, but yes, being in a healthy relationship with a partner who actually
Meaning,
values you and validates you, I don't think she knows what that
meaning,
looks like at all.
like he's not worried about him getting his. He's more worried about you getting yours, and
But
he's doing everything he can to make you feel comfortable and to make sure you're sexually. I'm just talking about the sex. The
but for
sex part.
girls, especially girls like Sophie, sex is more emotional than it is the physical. She needs like a lot of emotional reassurance for her to be able to have a good time. Rob is not that guy. He's not that guy that's going to check in with your emotions and make sure you're in a good space at
I
all.
don't think it's. I think it's a little bit. But I think it's more about making sure she is enjoying it.
She constantly talks about how she doesn't enjoy sex because she doesn't feel there's an emotional connection. She feels like it's just bodies on bodies. She needs that emotional connection to have a good time.
And I think
And that's true for a lot of
I
ladies.
think she's saying that, but also think it's she's never been prioritized.
That would relate to her emotional well-being.
Okay.
Being
Right.
validated, being prioritized, being the focus, like you said, the star of the show, as it were. A lot of that would require her to be emotionally available to receive it.
And I also think those dudes have done stuff to try to degrade her, made her do degrading things that she didn't
I
want to do.
don't know if the degrading things
I
is
think
something.
that's happened a couple of times.
Well, okay, so from what we've seen of Sophie so far and how she's talked about her struggle with her own self-confidence and her looks and all of that. The also thing we got to add to that is her cultural approach to this. She's European. She's primarily from the UK. They're not known for being that open and honest about sex at all.
And what I'm saying to you is she could have had experience where she was emotionally invested in somebody. They took advantage of her.
Yeah, Rob.
And they made her do some things and they didn't reciprocate it.
Yeah,
on their
Rob.
end. So could be a lot of things. But
Rob fully cheated on her while they were married. This
also,
is also what part of the issues they're
also,
facing.
I think she could be in a situation where she's tired of dudes for right now, too.
I'm confused by that because Rob has brought up more than once that like if this is not working, then we need to end it. And she's been the one to be like, no. On the one hand, we're not in a good place and I'm not sure how we can move forward. But on the other hand, I never want to let you go. I want you always
Also,
in my life.
when you don't know no better, you can't do better.
That's true too.
And also, it could be her trying to fight what she's really feeling.
To Rob's credit, even though this dude is arrogant as hell, to his credit, there are moments in there where he realizes, oh, I said the wrong stuff. I did not move the right way in this particular circumstance or this particular scenario. It goes out the window when his feelings get hurt, but he has these like small moments of clarity and he talks about how he's getting his own therapy. He's doing his own he has his own psychologist to work through some of his issues. So like he's on a path for betterment, but I also feel like being part of the younger generation, he kind of feels like he's done. Like he did it the first couple of times and he should be good to go. But that's not how any of this works. And he's with a partner who simultaneously doesn't want to move forward with him, but doesn't want to get rid of him either. That's got to be incredibly frustrating and confusing.
Whatever, it is what it is. You made your bed, you lie in it. Three people actually four people actually missing.
Actually, I'm going to talk about Sophie one more time. What did you think about the sex therapist's statement that Sophie doesn't take priority for herself at all?
I believe that.
That's why she gave them the assignment where Sophie was going to be the more dominant partner.
I understand that.
I don't think Sophie knew what to do with it.
No, because I think someone told her one time, and she tried, and I think that person made her feel some way about herself.
Maybe that did happen, but I also wonder if she just has problems taking her own agency. She looks to her partner for all of that.
I think she was with somebody. This is my opinion. And he said her sex, and they got broke up. He said her sex was trash, and all this other stuff.
Okay.
I think he emotionally tried to destroy her. I think some guy
Yeah, her father. Her father emotionally tried to destroy her.
What are you talking about?
Well, her conversations about growing up and how like he really wasn't in her life, but he controlled a lot of it. He moved her to Spain for educational purposes, and it was a living hell for her because Spain is so racist. It's so racist, and as light as Sophie is, she's still not white enough. Like it was a living hell for her. She ended up having to become her own guardian to get away from it.
And I think that's where the brokenness comes from.
Yeah.
The racial stuff. I think that's really what it is. And then you got with another guy who you thought would figure that out, but she didn't tell him how.
No, she got with another guy who was dealing with his own racial stuff. Rob's mixed.
Yeah.
And he also talks about his issues with navigating being in the part of black culture versus, being a part of white culture and the issues he faced with that.
So you give somebody else, and this guy is too busy.
He's also broken. He's coming with his own craziness.
So I think it was just two people who met each other at the wrong time.
I feel like they found a common ground in their brokenness, and then they're like, why isn't this working to help us sustain a relationship? Like, no, it doesn't work this way. It's so crazy. But okay, next couple.
What's that guy name?
Brandon and
no, the two that went on the dune buggy ride together.
Benny and Ariella.
So they did a dune buggy ride.
Benny was living his best life by not having to talk to Ariella because they had to do the dune buggy ride.
And he was all good. Then they set up a picnic in the desert somewhere.
And his mood went down.
And then he took it and he shook up. I guess he wanted to make sure nothing happened, so he wanted to waste majority of the bottle of the wine.
Well, he was trying to celebrate, like you do the shake, especially because he was comparing it to NASCAR. You know, at the end of I don't even know if you know. At the end of NASCAR, they have those huge bottles.
Yeah,
he was trying to do that. I don't know why they only had the one bottle, but that's what he was trying to do.
Exactly, he was trying to waste the majority of the wine so nothing goes down.
It wasn't wine; that was champagne.
He wanted to waste majority of champagne so nothing goes down.
It was hilarious.
Because she even said, "You just wasted majority of the
bottle."
He was like, and you look at his face, he's like, "Yes."
He was like, anyway.
Yes. I just want my passwords, bitch. I just want my passwords. That's all I want. I want passwords.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he should have got her drunk. Maybe she gave him the passwords. Who knows? But I don't think he wanted to get drunk and tipsy and end up doing something he regret.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, to protect myself, whatever, just give me my passwords, bitch. That's all I want. That's pretty much what the conversation is about, getting back his passwords.
Well, cause she told him outside the club that she was going to do it, but she hasn't done it.
So that's Benny and Ariella, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Aristotle, whatever her fucking name is. This is your show. I don't.
You have the notes.
No, I got the notes for 90 days before the 90 days.
I gave you the notes for Last Resort. I emailed them to you. Calvin's the worst.
I only got the other one up.
No, because you're the worst. I sent you two.
Sure.
The worst.
Who you want to talk to?
I want to talk about Brandon and Julia.
Okay, go ahead.
The worst. Brandon's still a wet blanket. He has a lot. He puts a lot of pressure onto what he thinks the marriage is, and how he feels like he's doing his bit, but Julia's not doing her bit. And it's like clearly, her needs are not being met. Quite clearly, her needs are not being met, and because they're not being met, she don't want to do nothing. In her conversation with Rob, she talks about how it's just two friends. They're like two best friends chilling. Like, it's not hard for them to enjoy each other and have a good time, but she doesn't feel any sexual chemistry there. So
As long as she's not dancing on tables, they can enjoy
the
each
way
other's
he was
company.
so quick to call her a whore. So like it was it was so crazy. They also have this other show, which is basically pillow talk, but they call it In Between the Sheets because it's actually the people from the show talking about what was going on in the episode. Every so often they have the therapist or one of the counselors come on and talk about like their perspectives on these couples. And the sex therapist points out that Brandon's verbiage around Julia, calling her a whore, telling her that she was dressed in a slutty way, that she was acting inappropriately at the bar in front of all the others. She's like, it's quite possessive and self-serving. Like a lot of his perspective is like, she is for me. She is for me. She can't be for herself. And when she tries to act like it's for herself, that's a problem to me because she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing for me, which is crazy, but true.
Uh,
But true.
so I guess she's saying that
She agreed with me. She was like, him getting so upset about her being dressed the way she was and dancing and acting the way she was. Her take was, if you're not doing that for me, why would you do it for these strangers? To the therapist's credit, she's like, I can see how he'd be really frustrated in that space. You're trying to be close with your partner and they are denying that. But then you go to this public space and they're quick to let that happen with strangers.
they're
I
a
can see how
trollop,
that's
and they're looking like a
I
whore.
can see
They
how
do all the
that's
whorish things they can do, other than getting on their knees and doing all types of stuff, and in front of all these other guys. But when you're there by yourself,
right.
together, she doesn't. Oh, she's sleepy.
But here's what I would
has
say
a
about the
headache.
sex, because the sex therapist, the counselors, most of them are getting their take of these couples in real time, like as they're meeting them. And viewers who watch their previous seasons have seen other aspects of these couples. And in Brandon and Julia's case, Brandon has been controlling. It was his idea to have Julia come from Russia to the US. He promised her one thing, did not deliver on it, had her living on his family's farm and working on his family's farm when she didn't want to do that at all.
For free.
And then dropped the hammer that he never intended to do any of the stuff he told her at all. He just wanted to stay with his parents because he's devoted to his parents. And she was like, that's not what I that's not what I wanted to do at all. They've almost broken up several times during the course of their seasons because of this. Brandon decides for the both of them that it's going to be this one thing. And then he's surprised when Julia has a problem with it. It is crazy. It is crazy. I hope at this point, I'm hoping either Julia figures out how to communicate with Brandon, that they got to work as a team, or she decides to leave. That's what I'm hoping at this point.
And that's what it's like. It's like two individuals trying to work opposite ways.
Right.
Or try to get over on each other. It seems like it's two people trying to
Yes.
get over on each other.
Yes. But at the same time, I can't help but root for Julia because she is the exact opposite of Brandon. She is carefree and fun and adventurous and super social. And he's none of those things, which is not a problem, but he's with somebody who's the exact opposite, but wants them to be how he is. It's confusing.
That's the issue. He's not accepting who she is
It's confusing.
or how he met her.
So that's Brandon and Julia. Because he was like, we did our little sex assignment. They had to pretend to be horses for each other for some reason. It was a whole giddy up situation. And he was like, it didn't even lead to sex. I don't know even what the point of us doing the exercise was. The point of the exercise was not to get to sex. The point of the exercise was intimacy. You psycho. Anyway.
First of all, if you did it the right way, you could have it would have led to sex.
If he did, he's not adventurous though. He wouldn't have gone anyway.
And that's the issue is he wants this conservative type of
Submissive woman. Yes.
relationship.
And
Then
she's not like that at all.
go get you a baby hip bearing woman who's wants to be submissive and doesn't have any ambitions on being anything other than submissive.
Your wife, absolutely. But the problem was he couldn't find that. So
It wasn't in the package she liked.
right, yes, that's a great way to phrase it. Absolutely, definitely wasn't in the package he wanted at all.
So that's the issue. It didn't come petite like that.
Mm-hmm.
put on some weight, and still
Mm-hmm.
look petite like that.
Mm-hmm. Juliet looked good. She looked good. She does.
It didn't come in a package like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's from, they built like SpongeBob SquarePants.
That's messed up. That's messed up. That's crazy.
Uh,
But anyway, so he had his own complaints and whatever. Um, real quick on the Florian Stacy situation.
and they all
They're the only couple that actually ended up having sex. They did role play, sort of, kind of. It was mostly Stacy pretending to be a cowgirl and Florian just being there.
she looks like
she was in the moment. She
so
was
much.
ready.
I'm like, why is Squidward doing this?
She was ready. Hi there,
I'm like,
cowboy.
yeah.
Let's get you out of this shirt.
I threw up.
It was hysterical.
ugh.
It was so funny. But it's the most I've seen Florian smile. I was so in shock.
It was like looking at plastic that has been tanned sitting in the car in the sun too long and it's starting to brown.
She's weird. Stacy says a lot of things around the girls that are very like girl powered forward. But then when they did In Between the Sheets and it was like just her doing the confessional, she was talking about how like the Jasmine Florian thing. She
Mhm.
was talking about how like Jasmine brought it on herself.
Yeah.
It was
I
very interesting.
love
She's like,
how-
poke the bear. That's what happens. But when the moment she was like, get away, Florian.
I love
Don't
how
touch her.
when she pouts and cries, you can't tell a difference.
There's no tears that happen.
Her lips look the same. And I'm like, is she pouting? What's going on?
But of the couples, they're the strongest. They're the strongest.
Because you have one person who's dead inside, who's just there. And it's easier to deal with somebody who's dead inside and just there.
Listen.
And it gives you things you want every once in a while because they want something too.
What I will give Florian, there's no gray area with that man. Okay? He's either on board or he is not. And it's just that simple. It's either he's on board or he's not. That's it. Period, point blank. If you ask him for advice, he's about to give you the most blunt, straightforward advice.
The reason he's like that because
He's Albanian.
that and there's nothing she can do about it.
Not just her. Like when the guys are asking him about advice and stuff, his very straightforward answers that I end up agreeing with, they're so to the point. It's hysterical.
So
Gino's like, I don't know what to do with Jasmine. She's doing this. She's doing that. We fight all the time. And Florian's like, just fuck her once. Like just just have sex with her. And she'll quiet down. It was hilarious.
my thing is, you've done worse.
Who?
What's Freddy Krueger?
Oh, Gino.
He's had sex with worse.
I guess. Okay.
He's done worse for sex.
I don't know. I don't know that.
What I'm saying to you, he's had sex when he didn't want to. He's probably had sex with somebody he didn't want to have sex with, and he's done it. Just do it again.
I don't know.
At least this person is.
He wants to punish Jasmine.
At least this person. But the difference is, this is his only mood, like you said,
it's
of
his
control.
recourse. Yeah, it's his only recourse with Jasmine. I think she thinks too fast for him to like a verbal confrontation. It never works well because I think she thinks too fast for him. But he can withhold sex. That he can do. And the therapist agrees. The sex therapist was like, it's almost a weaponization, basically.
And that's the only weapon he has to shut her up.
It doesn't. No, I don't even think it's to shut her up because it just makes her louder. But it is to piss her off for sure.
It's his way of winning.
To make her
because
unhappy. Yeah.
He, first of all, if he's just listening to what she's yelling about, he can win the fights. She's just yelling to yell sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And whining a lot of times.
But at the same time, this has been a point of contention between them. Even before she made it to the U.S., the conversation was about how he didn't want to have sex.
Yeah. So I don't understand why she's surprised it's still having this issue.
Well, to her credit, I would say that he kept telling her he was going to change. Like he wanted to get married first. That's why he wasn't doing it. So then they got married. So then they got married, and it still wasn't happening. And then he was like, "Well, it's because of this." Like he kept moving the goalposts. He kept moving the goalposts and changing why he wasn't doing what he was doing. But he's watching all this porn. In that instance, I absolutely understand. Like you don't want to touch me. You're literally grimacing and trying to run away from me when I'm trying to kiss you and be close to you. But you're gonna go leave and watch porn? Okay. Yeah.
I thought you said porn was okay.
Porn. I should rephrase. I think porn is fine if you're also still paying attention to your partner. If you are still connected to your partner, you're still paying attention to your partner, porn is fine. But when porn is your only outlet and you're not doing anything with your partner, that is a problem. That's a problem.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Hmm.
Touche.
What?
Nothing. I and the fact that he makes sure she hears him when he's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. like to further punish her.
I want Bert mixed with Freddy Krueger noises he be making in there.
This is going to be the weirdest podcast because they can't see you.
I know.
They're just going to hear these random noises.
Yeah. I don't know why she's still. Just leave.
He stole her passport. Remember? That's why.
I don't care.
She's been trying to leave.
Whatever. I just go to whatever and be like, hey, I need a new passport.
They show a clip of In Between the Sheets where she was like, she had hit her limit after the jacuzzi situation. She wanted to travel back to Michigan. She was going to ask Gino's family to help her get a one-way ticket back to Panama. But he's been hiding her passport this entire time. It's been in his possession. So she can't do anything.
Oh, whatever.
Which to me adds fuel to the whole punishing her thing.
That's Gino and Jasmine still at it.
No, there's still more to Gino and Jasmine.
What's more?
After they have their girls and boys day, they hit that bar.
Oh, they hit the bar, and then Jasmine starts spiking Gino's drinks.
We get to the bar
and
with the guys, and Gino is 3 sheets to the wind. He's loud and slurring and drunk. And the guys are laughing. Natalie shows up. She's one of the first girls to come over from the girls' day. And she's like, hi, guys, I'm back. And they're genuinely surprised to see her because up until this point, they hadn't. The whole club thing had gone down. Josh had left. They hadn't seen her for a little bit. So she shows up. Gino goes, Natalie, immediately grabs her to hugs her and puts his face in her chest. Puts her face in her boobs right in front of Jasmine.
I think he was just drunk and he meant to do this.
No, it was on purpose.
Whatever.
Because Natalie is like shocked.
And two.
But like just kind of brushes it off.
And two, he kind of stumbled. He was that drunk. Gino was gone.
I'm just saying, we've never seen Gino be like that physical with anyone.
Because he was gone. When you're drunk, you do things you normally won't do. He was gone.
I'm just saying. So Jasmine's watching this and she apologizes to Natalie on Gino's behalf. She's like, I don't know why he's like this.
When Gino hugged her nemesis, the way he did and kind of shunned her at the same time, Jasmine saw red.
But the other thing is, I'm sure this is a slow build up because we've been hearing here and there how Gino has been commenting on the other ladies that are with him at this last resort thing. And it's all highly complimentary, but not to Jasmine. Like how he wants to motorboat Sophie's butt. Like he would get down and dirty with Julia. He puts his face in Natalie's chest. Like he's doing a lot of perverse things and saying perverse things about everybody else. But he's not giving Jasmine the time of day. It's crazy. So yeah, Jasmine sees red. After all that goes down, she's like, what is going on? Florian's like, let him be. He's just having a good time. Again, according to the In Between the Sheets part, Josh in his confessional talks about how Florian nonstop was just trying to get the guys drunk nonstop. That was his whole thing. Like if it was going to be the guys hanging out, he wanted everybody to be drinking. Rob's stupid self is over there like, yeah, let Gino have a good time. He's having a good time with the drinks. He's clearly acting out of character right now. What are you talking about?
And Gino, I'm too sexy for my shirt. Gino just pumping it.
So Jasmine goes up there and she goes, no, we need to cut you off. You need to go back to the hotel. And he's like, I don't need to do anything. So she grabs his drink and dumps it. 2 more drinks
with a bread beer, man.
So she grabs his drink and dumps it. And the guys are like, whoa, 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 whoa. And they go to get him another drink and Jasmine dumps that.
Touchdown.
But it turns out they weren't trying to get another drink for Gino. It was supposed to be for Florian. But she dumps it. And then Florian goes off. He's quick to turn on her, and he is trying to throw hands with her. But Stacy's there to try to dissuade him. She's screaming, "Get away from her! Don't do it, Florian!" She's throwing water on him. None of that is deterring him. But he's again. I want to point out that these ain't shit guys. They're not doing anything to try to stop the situation either. They're just watching.
You notice how men can have so much fun until ladies arrive, and then everything just goes to crap.
Okay, sure. Yep, that's what's happening.
I'm sorry. Those dudes are living there, having the best time of their life, just partying.
But they're also complaining that the girls aren't there. And then the girls show up and they still gotta complain that the girls are there? Which one is
Don't
it?
be mad at me. That's how we have a good time. We talk shit about women and we drink and have a good time.
What I'm saying is they talk shit about women, but then they complain that the women weren't there. So which one is it?
Guess what?
You can't stand us and you don't want us there, or you want us there?
Both.
It was crazy.
We're having a good time. We're talking about things that we have in common. We're having a good time.
Honestly, in that situation, I can see, and we know that Jasmine is quick to act before she is to think.
They could have took their behinds to another little bar and do whatever they want to do. Have a girls' night out and make it a whole girls' night out. The dudes are having a good old time. They come in, now they want to spike all men drinks, and now
Who's they?
all party is done.
It was one girl.
Yeah.
It was not a they.
Whatever. She got there, start spiking all the drinks.
But the other thing is the girls weren't having that great of a time. Once Natalie comes back.
That's not our fault. You guys can't have a good time with each other.
Once Natalie comes back, Sophie is like really concerned about like how the rest of this is going to go. I think for Sophie, it's also triggering her because she was bullied too. She was bullied hard by girls like Natalie.
Seems like all of them have been bullied. All of them have been bullied.
What cracks me up though is like Natalie's like, she really is trying to victimize the situation by being like, I don't know why these girls are treating me like this or why they get it so harsh what I did. But she's also quick to call Sophie a whore again. She's also quick to say that Sophie is like this sexual deviant who's only after all the men. Like it doesn't make sense to me why she has all this beef with Sophie at all. And then Sophie's comebacks are like, she's twice my age, she's 3 times my age, she's 4 times my age, which definitely gets under Natalie's skin.
Whatever. All I know is it's not our fault you guys can't get along. We're having the time of our lives.
You're one of the guys now?
Yep. I was in there with Florian and getting it down. Here it comes. Oh, here comes the balls and chains.
You know what? You're right. If I flipped out like Jasmine and I was dumping everybody's drinks and Florian went to swing on me, you'd let it happen. That's for sure.
First of all, Florian wouldn't even get in your face.
You'd be sitting there with your drink like, ooh, dang, that's sex. No. Can I get 2 more drinks?
Yeah, exactly, 2 more drinks, Mr. Beer Man. No, Florian wouldn't do it. That's because Florian would know that, hey, you handle your woman, I got mine.
That's a lie. Anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Kevin, you've just been promoting how these girls, they don't matter, and other than the guys do.
What I'm saying is they came in and killed fun. That's all I said. They killed fun.
They didn't kill any fun.
I didn't say they needed to get a punch in the face for killing fun. I just said they killed fun. That's all I'm saying.
They didn't kill any fun.
I'm sorry. Jasmine killed fun, which when the women got there, fun ceased and it didn't exist no more, didn't it?
What?
The party was over fast when they got there, wasn't it?
Okay.
See, you can't admit it. The party was over fast when they got there.
What party was it?
Gino was having a good old time.
What party was it?
Gino was dancing on tables, living his best life.
It's a bunch of sad men trying to drink to forget.
Once again, it doesn't matter.
Complaining about their spouses and at the same time being like, where are they?
Exactly. We're having a good old time. Men, you know what men do most of the time when they're together? We just talk the talk. That's all we're doing.
What I'm saying is there was no way to win, period. These girls supposedly crashing it or destroying the fun or whatever. If they ended up having their own girls' night, that also would be destroying the fun because they didn't come and see their partners.
No, wouldn't have. We'd have had fun together. Now, when he comes in the house and complains about, that's off limits. They ain't got nothing to do with us.
Oh my gosh.
It is what it is. But, hey, we're having a good time. Ladies come. Jasmine starts spiking drinks. Almost got choked. Gino, Jasmine, I got this.
I don't blame Jasmine for being done. There's a point in there where she tried to leave the resort. She tried to go, and she's like, "Give me my passport so I can go," and he refused. He refused to give it to her.
Was this after the she started spiking drinks, or
this
before?
Was before.
Before, okay.
This was after the jacuzzi.
Okay.
It was before. Instead, he goes and gets one of the counselors, and he's like, "I'm trying to get her to stay," and it's like, "For what?"
I'm not gonna lie, the jacuzzi thing. Yeah, that was
cold-blooded.
That was real messed up.
It was cold-blooded.
Cause he like she had a disease, like
real.
she had lupus or something.
Lupus is not catchable.
No, I mean, what's that biblical? That one in the biblical?
A plague.
They're like, God. Oh my god, it's on tip of my tongue too.
I don't
God
even know.
damn
It
it.
doesn't even matter. Moment has passed. So,
Yeah, it has
but yeah, that was there another couple we need to talk about? We did.
leprosy. He acted like she had leprosy or something.
That's biblical to you? Okay.
Yeah, it's biblical. When last time you
Anywho,
heard somebody had leprosy? Not since the
in the
Bible.
1800s,
Not since the Bible.
Molokai is an island dedicated to people who had leprosy. They exiled them to that place. And that was all in the late 1800s.
Before Christ. Anywho,
That's not before Christ.
before Christ. Anywho, he acted like she has. Yeah, the way he didn't just move. He like stiff armed her in the face. Almost.
He fully winces and like turns his whole body away.
Ah!
Don't touch me.
Ah!
Don't spread your disease. Like
Ah!
she was like, really?
That was crazy. I was like, wow.
She was like, oh, because he was supposed to give her a massage. Did you see his massage?
I was like,
It was
wow.
basically 2 fingers poking.
I was like, well, yeah. So the point is, if you don't want me, let me go.
Yes. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing?
But then she stayed. That's on her. And now I'm partying.
No, she's trapped. She's trapped. She
So,
doesn't have her passport.
Do you really think he's holding her hostage?
Yes. Yes. Just like he's withholding sex, I absolutely think he's holding her hostage. Absolutely. I wouldn't put it past him at this point to control what he can. And having her passport is one of the things he can control. Because he needed it for her to get her permanent residency stuff. And he just refuses to let it go. I know a lot of people who do that. Have you seen? No, you probably haven't seen it.
Nope.
There's another video that's going around on social media right now. It's this white guy. He married a Filipino girl who's like 2 times younger than him in age. And he's pissed because she had the audacity to leave him when they went on their trip to Hawaii. Right? The story he tells is like he brought her over from, dirt poor Philippines, saved her family, saved her. And this is how she thanks him. And then she gets on and tells her side of the story. This man basically kidnapped her, essentially kidnapped her and trapped her. He took her passport. He took a bunch of her stuff. She had to seek asylum in Hawaii so that she could leave. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So no, I wouldn't put it past Gino.
So how did he kidnap her?
He told her when they originally met up, he said it was for work. He needed a live-in nanny for his kid. He had younger kids. That's what he said he was doing out on the
Wait, how did he get her out of the Philippines?
Because for the job. For the job. They had an agreement.
Stop. You can't.
Yeah, you can. She had a Filipino passport.
Wait.
He paid for her ticket.
Wait.
He flew her to the States.
Sure. Okay. Whatever.
And then according to her, he started like trying to like romance her. She didn't know anybody, so she let it happen because she was 19.
That's insane.
Then he married her, and he said they had to get married in order for her to stay legally in the country, which is a partial truth. Mind you, he still has all her documents, but he said he needed them in order to file the necessary paperwork. Okay, 2 years go by, 3 years go by. She hasn't seen anything. She hasn't been able to talk to her family. Nothing. They take a vacation out to Hawaii. She researches how to seek asylum. Do you know who helped her research? His daughter. He has an older daughter that's close to her age. That's who helped her. That's how she could leave. It's crazy. So no, I wouldn't put it past Gino to try to entrap her at all.
Jasmine ain't 15.
Jasmine's not 15, but she's an illegal immigrant. She needs paperwork to do what she got to do anything. She trusted Gino to get that paperwork completed. He's not doing it. He still has her stuff. He's not letting go of that stuff.
Okay.
And we see it. She goes, "Give me my passport." He goes, "No, let me talk to somebody." And gets a counselor. He goes and gets the psychologist. He doesn't give her passport.
Okay. I don't have nothing to say. Gino is kidnapping a grown-ass woman now. So
I don't think he's kidnapping her. He's entrapping her. Anywho.
There's nothing I can do about it.
I think that's it. We did Rob and Sophie, Brandon and Julia, Jasmine and Gino, Stacey and Florian, Ariella and Benny. I think that's all of them. You're up next.
All right. So this is 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. I want to say this is episode 18 or 19. I think it's episode 18, season 7, episode 18. So we're gonna start with Magda and Joey. So we start with them pretty much the hour after they had the discussion. After she pretty much told him she don't believe friends can be. You can't sleep with a friend.
No, you can't be friends with an ex.
You can't be friends with ex. Thank you. So they're back at the house and they're getting ready to go to some type of resort, I guess.
Yeah, like a cabin in the
woods or
in the
something
woods
like that.
situation where there's a jacuzzi.
They get there and she's like, "Wow, there's a jacuzzi and all this stuff. I'm going to walk the dog." So,
She leaves an idiot to go figure out how to work this old fashioned jacuzzi that's got a wood stove,
and it doesn't really work. So Joey is trying to figure out how he's going to tell Magda that he's still friends with his ex, but he doesn't want to ruin the trip. So he keeps this to himself until he gets sex. Finally, he gets sex.
He's like, "You know, it's a perfect time. Now, let me go ahead and tell her right now."
So I'm gonna tell you now that, by the way, I'm still with my ex.
Yeah, I know. I told you I wasn't. Just kidding.
And Magda,
thanks for the sex,
loses it.
I don't blame her.
And
she talks about how he lied to her again, right after they had met her mom, and he said he wasn't gonna do that anymore.
Like I said,
right after.
I'm not blaming her.
And right after the sex.
I'm not blaming her for what she did. I think only thing I'm blame her for was that she should have stuck to her guns. That's all. That's all. That's all. She should have stuck to her guns. She should have stuck to her guns. But she didn't, and now she wants to eat his and his ex's eyeballs.
Joey is genuinely confused why she's so upset. Like, genuinely. He's shocked that she didn't take this information well. Like, he's so confused.
But I knew he wasn't going to tell her until after he got sex, or it was the last thing he was leaving.
What got me was his friend he calls, the tone his friend gives is just like, "Why did you do this again?" Like, that's the tone he gives. He's like, "Yeah, I'm with Magda. We spent the night together. We had a great night." His friend's like, "Great." He's like, "Yeah, but I haven't told her I'm still friends with," I think her name's like Julie or something.
Jill.
Jill, who's his ex. And his friend's face drops. And he goes, "You haven't told her that? What have you been waiting on?" He's like, "The right moment. I just didn't know when the right moment would be." And his friend verbatim points out, he's like, "Did you tell her you're not friends with an ex?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You need to tell her soon that you're still friends with an ex." He's like, "Yeah, especially now that we've slept together." And his friend goes, "Joey," like that. "Joey, you need to tell her ASAP." And it's Joey being like, "Yeah." What is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with him. I told you this is what he's doing. I told you this from the jump. As soon as he walked on and she said she's not having sex, I'm like, he's trying to get sex. That's all he wants. He wants that young thing so bad. I don't know why, but he's
a sex addict. That's why.
It's
talking about, "Oh yeah, I knew we were together, but I didn't know I couldn't sleep with other people." What do you mean, sir? What do you mean? You painted her as crazy, but it turned out you did say that you were in a committed relationship with her.
Wanted that.
What?
He wanted that young thing so bad. So he didn't want to tell.
He didn't want to ruin his chances.
Exactly. And that's exactly
now
what
he's like, "I got nothing to lose. I got mine."
Exactly. That's what I told you. I'm like,
let me go ahead and tell you this.
And that's why I'm saying.
And then be surprised.
That's why I was commending Magda for not giving in.
But you're also trying to condemn her because she did.
Yeah,
which is ludicrous.
I was mad because I'm like,
which is ludicrous
because I was mad. I'm like,
which is ludicrous.
You know, it's being human.
Yeah. It's absolutely no. It's being a man.
No, it's being human.
No, it's being a man.
I was mad because I'm like,
you're not mad at Joey for having sex. You're mad at Magda for having sex.
Because at the end of the day, he can't get what you don't give him.
But what I'm saying is, again, you're holding her to a higher standard than you are holding to Joey. And I know your whole perspective is that you don't expect much from Joey, but I feel like you should step back and look at that as well. Why are there zero expectations for this man, but all these expectations for this lady?
I don't have any expectations for her neither. What I'm saying to you, the one
Yeah,
thing,
you do. You said she should have held out.
yeah, the one thing you can't control, use it. Use it.
Sometimes you also want to have sex.
She was using it.
And you shouldn't be villainized because you wanted to have sex. You shouldn't be villainized for that.
And what I'm saying to you is, the longer you held out, he kept saying more. He stopped giving you more
Her
and more
holding
stuff.
out wouldn't have made her feel better about him lying to her again. That wouldn't have made her feel better.
But at least when she found out, she was like, at least he didn't get it.
I'm just saying, to me, it's a little antiquated.
And it seems to
for
me,
her to keep her purity, quote unquote, but he can be a dog.
No.
That's dumb.
Keep your purity from assholes who don't deserve it. That's all I'm saying.
But what I'm also
And
saying
to me,
is that sometimes you don't know that they they don't deserve it.
Yeah,
Sometimes you genuinely don't know.
Yeah, you do. Tell me one time that he didn't tell a lie.
You're telling me you've never been young, dumb, and in love? That's never happened? That's never happened?
For me? No.
Okay.
No.
I forgot you're perfect. I forgot. Sorry.
Thank you.
I have been young, dumb, and in love. I absolutely have let red flags just fly happily in my face because I'm like, yeah, that's happening, but he loves me. Like, I've definitely been there. So I can absolutely understand. She's with this guy that she's invested in, who she sees a future with.
Whatever.
He's on her about having sex. As a girl who's also been with partners who really push sex, at some point you're like, I do find him attractive, and I do eventually want to have sex with this dude. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's have the sex.
He's pushing sex. He's saying the only way I can be with you is if we have sex.
What I'm saying
that is the red flag right there.
Interesting
Yes.
that you say that,
Yes.
of all people.
I didn't tell you had to have sex with me.
Very interesting.
I
So
didn't tell you that.
very
you
interesting.
decided that.
But what I'm saying is
we'll talk off
the
air
pressure
about this.
there is it's constant. And if you're already interested and you're like,
So
I kind of do want to do this. I feel like we're in a good place. I kind of do want to do this.
So you got pressured.
Don't make this about you narcissist. So what I'm saying
You made it about me.
What I'm saying is you benefit as a guy to move in that way without any repercussions. But for women who also want to move in that way, all of a sudden it's terrible. Why didn't you hold out? Why didn't you keep your legs closed? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?
Once again, I agree with you, but if you're a female who doesn't want to move that way, then it behooves you not to.
But what I'm saying is sometimes you are influenced against your better judgment. That happens. Being human is to be human. It means there are flaws. It means you don't always do the right thing. And I don't think it's beholden to women to keep the standard. That's dumb, in my opinion. That's dumb. Yes, Joey's a dog. He's an idiot. True. Granted, everything that we've seen has said, don't do it. Don't do it, girl.
If you don't,
stay away.
If you don't keep the standard,
but she's also in love with him. She thinks she's in love with him.
If you don't keep the standard, no one is going to do it for you. So you have to keep it yourself. That's all I'm saying. That being said, I was upset that she gave in. That's it.
What I'm saying is, when it comes to impulse control, neither of these knuckleheads are good at it. Neither one. Her impulse control issues is moving across the country for a stranger she's only met twice and deciding she's going to marry them. She's done it more than once. So her impulse control also not great. Not great.
Maybe she tricked me. I thought she was going to hold out.
Oh my God.
Maybe she tricked me. I thought the way she was moving and going, I'm like,
I'm just saying,
she's going to make it.
You come from a generation where a lot of that responsibility is on the female. That was just how it was. That's just how it was. But that's not accurate, is what I'm saying. It's not accurate, and it's not fair.
Do I wish it was equal and not one-sided? Yes. But guess what? We don't live in that type of society yet.
Actually, we do. You just refuse to be a part of it.
Okay, sure we do. Sure. Okay.
Because if we didn't, the Diddy stuff wouldn't be happening.
Okay, if you live in that type of society, good for you. Stay in that type of society or that bubble which you're in. But if the rest of you have not, you got to take precautions yourself.
I'm just saying.
It sucks. It is what it is. That's all I can tell you. That being said, I thought she was gonna do it. And I was happy too. I was laughing in his face. I hope your dumb ass don't get it.
This entire time, she's been talking about how she can't wait to have a family with this man this entire time. She literally was waiting for a moment where it felt like he was as invested in her as she was in him. And she felt like she got that for whatever reason
and
during the jacuzzi time. And
like
she was like, now is the moment. And then he drops the bomb.
like I
that
said,
he's a liar. So.
and that's what I'm saying.
I was not surprised that she was going to give it up. I was not surprised that he was going to wait till after she gave it up to tell her the full story of anything. I wasn't surprised about any of that. The way that all of that moved really just matched how we've been introduced to them this entire time. They're very young. They're very impulsive. They deal with consequences after they've already moved the way they wanted to move.
Whatever. Like I said, I knew he wasn't going to tell her until after he either got it or it's like he was on a.
I didn't think he was going to tell her. Period. I didn't think he was going to tell her at all.
I knew I knew the only way he'd tell her if he got it. So I already knew he had to get sex first before he told her. I already knew that.
I know he doesn't want to get married. So that's the part that I'm also confused on.
I thought that I think she was banking on him messing it up like he was messing up everything else. I think a lot of times, just like you said, she got close a lot of times, but I think he did something and messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
This time, he just didn't bumble and stumble.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping she still held out. That's all.
Because you hold her to a higher standard than you hold Joey.
Because he's already told you what he wants.
Like I said, I understand that your perspective is bar for him, low. Bar for her, higher.
The bar is not low. If I already tell you, we can't do anything unless we have sex first.
Isn't that a low bar?
But what did I tell you? That you already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we have sex, we can't do anything. So the only card you have to play is what? Withholding sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only card you have to play. She was playing it flawlessly.
She wasn't playing it though for her. For her, it wasn't a game of control. For her, she wanted him to prove to her that he was going to be as invested in her, as she was in him.
And at no point did he ever prove that. That's what I'm saying. At no point did he ever prove that.
To our standards, I agree. But for her, he did.
Even her, I don't think he reached her standards.
Honestly, I think he did with the jacuzzi. I think he did.
I don't think
the conversation they had in the lukewarm jacuzzi. The conversation they were having.
Right there should have been like, you can't even get the jacuzzi hot enough.
There were so many things happening. But he was telling her all the things she had been waiting to hear. He really did. He really was touching on a lot of the things she had been wanting him to say. And he did it all in that jacuzzi. Now, was it just a means to an end to get sex? Absolutely. It absolutely was. But he also did it. And so for her, that was enough. That was what was going to break that dam. She just needed him, even if it wasn't real, to say the stuff. And he did it. And then he did the other stuff as well. That's what happened. But so no, I wasn't disappointed in her for having sex with him. I am a big supporter of people who want to make sure that the physicality is there as much as the emotional connection. And so this was the first time they were meeting after having their long distance, whatever. I don't blame her for doing what she did. And I don't think that it's a consequence now that she has to deal with the craziness with Joey.
That's the consequence. That's the consequence.
I don't think it's a consequence of her deciding to have sex with him.
Yeah.
I think it's a consequence of her deciding that Joey needs to be her partner.
I think it's both.
I don't think just because she had sex now.
Yeah.
Now this.
Yeah. Just because she had sex.
I don't think there's a direct correlation to Joey being a bad person and her deciding to have sex with him. I don't think that that's a thing.
No, what I'm saying to you is he's already a bad.
You said a consequence of her now dealing with the emotional ramifications she's dealing with.
Now she got to deal with
because she decided to have sex with him. And I disagree with that statement.
Because she gave it up to him. Now he has nothing. He don't care no more. So now he can tell her. Which is
what he did. But I don't think just because she had sex with him, this is her punishment. I disagree.
And that is exactly her punishment.
I disagree.
His stupidity is her punishment.
I disagree.
Yep, it sure is.
I disagree.
His stupidity is her punishment.
I disagree.
I just feel bad for her.
I think you're just old fashioned. You're just really old fashioned.
No, my thing is as a
female,
when you're a woman,
Here we go.
You
As
can
somebody who's not a woman, please tell me
you
what
can
you think.
only control so many
Oh
things.
God. Okay.
You can. It's just like a guy. I can only control so many things.
Plenty of men rape women. Plenty of them.
I can only control
Plenty of
so many
men rape
things.
women.
That has nothing to do with nothing.
It has everything to do with it. This argument that you're about to make, that this is the one card women can control, is not true.
Moving on to Vaja and Josko. Pretty much, I guess
Neither of those are their names.
Josko,
Vanya and Yasko.
who gives two craps. I guess she makes it back to the States. They talk, and he flies out to Florida to meet her. They have an amazing time. He goes back.
I was surprised he flew out to see her so soon. She said it had only
And
been 2 weeks.
Now there's an issue. We don't know what the issue is, but apparently something happened, and
No, we know what the issue is. They broke up. We know what the issue is.
He broke up with her.
We don't know
we
why.
don't know why.
We
and
don't know
that's
why.
we relieve them two.
She's like, he came out for those 10 days. We were talking about where the baby's going to stay in her house. Like, really talking about moving forward with their life together in the States. And then she's like, out of the blue, it's done. And I'm like, is it out of the blue? Like, he's really talked about his struggle with moving his entire life over to the States.
And I think either the parents of the baby don't want them to leave the country with the child.
Okay.
Or the courts is like, you can't leave the country with that child.
He is fostering, so that would make sense. That baby's not adopted by him.
So until you adopt. So, and I think he doesn't know when he'll ever be able to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think instead of telling her the reason.
We don't know what he's told her. Also, Vanya, as well-spoken as she is, she also doesn't listen. You know what I mean?
So we don't know. It could have been, he could have. So I'm thinking he's been told, dude, you're a foster. You can't take that baby.
I'm thinking he's been telling her, I'm not going to be able to move here anytime soon. I'm not going to be able to move to the States anytime soon. Because he talked about how, like, being in a long-distance relationship hasn't worked for him. He's done it before, which is why it was, like, bittersweet that she was leaving. And I feel like, in my opinion, they've had that conversation several times. And Yasko hit his breaking point and was like, you're not listening to me. You're not understanding what I'd have to sacrifice to do all of this. And you're just assuming I would do all of that. So we got to stop.
So I don't know. It could have been he's like, yo, I can't do this anymore.
He could have also just ghosted her. He also could have just stopped talking to her and that was it. Also.
But I think it has something to do with the child and the fact that it's a long distance relationship and the fact that he doesn't know when he'll be able to do whatever. And I think she was like, well, this and that. He's like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
I want to be with you.
Yeah.
But I also want my child.
Right. I have my whole life here in Croatia. Absolutely.
So I don't know. And it don't seem like she was willing to budge neither. So
right.
That's what happened.
But she says she feels blindsided. So I'm interested to see what went down actually.
Yeah. I think those are only two couples. I don't see anything else.
Yeah, we didn't see anything with Adnan. Oh no, Niles and Matilda got married.
Oh, Niles and Matilda finally got married.
She looked good in her dress. Her dress was cute.
Mr. Ark pretty much told him no butt stuff while you in Africa.
It was so random.
That devilish stuff for America.
It was so random.
And I'm like,
they're like at the
weird.
site, and he's like, listen, you're marrying a Ghanaian woman. All right, we treat our women differently than you would treat them in America. And I'm thinking, oh, like respect. Like I'm thinking of a cultural conversation. No anal sex. What?
I knew it was going left. I knew it was going left.
You might do anal sex in the States. We do not do it here.
When he was hiding
when
he was hiding his fake hand, I'm like, it's about to go left real fast.
It was so confusing.
So then they get there, they talk. They do the cultural things they do for the wedding.
I like their ceremony. I like the whole her side of the family does their offering, and then his side of the family has to do like the negotiation of like, will they accept, will they not accept? I like that because like it's basically like them giving their vows in front of family. Like, yes, I do want her entirely, and I want him entirely.
So
it was very cute.
The whole time, Niles is panicking because he's getting restless because his autism.
He's overwhelmed.
And also the fact that he's getting upset, sad because not his actual family is there too.
Yeah, he's got a lot of sensory issues that he was dealing with, and then
But
also his actual family.
he made it through.
I can't believe he got Mr. Ark to agree to pay all that stuff.
I think Mr. Ark was cool. I think Mr. Ark really sees him as his son.
That was really nice.
So Matilda, I know Matilda's happy she finally gets some of that.
She said, "I've been waiting.
She gets some
I'm
of
waiting." You're not mad at Matilda for opening her legs for him?
She's married. See the difference?
Yeah, you're old fashioned. See the difference? See the difference? You're old fashioned.
See the difference?
You're old fashioned.
Niles was in telling her the only way we can be together is sex. Niles didn't tell her.
He was telling her the only way you're gonna get sex is marriage. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, and he was like holding back. He's like, I want this to be an actual relationship. Granted,
but he also lied nonstop.
But he lied nonstop.
Okay, really selling my point that you are old fashioned. So anywho,
no, but it was a means to end for her.
You said it wasn't.
It was a means to end for her.
It was. I don't think it was. I think she genuinely loves Niles.
I'm not saying
through all of the ridiculousness, she stood by that man.
I'm not saying she doesn't.
I mean, I think she's happy now that she gets the head of sex, but I don't think it was a means to an end.
It's different. She wanted the sex first to begin with anyway. It wasn't her. It wasn't her saying she don't want it. It was Niles saying no. She wanted it from the top. So in that retrospect, I didn't care because I'm like,
what?
This is what she wanted.
Oh God.
So if
you know what? Okay, in my mind, it's making more sense that you think that if Magda, for her own peace, was like, we can't do anything, and then changed her mind, it's a conflict of character.
Yes.
Interesting.
Because she went against her own
self-interest
judgment that was actually right.
Okay, that makes a little more sense to me. Because I definitely was only thinking that you were like, she's a whore. She had sex before marriage.
No.
And this is what you get.
No. Everybody has sex before marriage.
That's exactly how I was taking it. That's like, this is dumb. So like, that's dumb. But it makes sense. You're like, she made a promise to herself. She broke that promise to herself.
Exactly.
And now she's got to deal with madness.
And now she got to deal with the reputation of her lying to herself.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Forget him.
That makes more sense.
She lied to her. She let herself down.
That makes more sense to me. Okay.
Whereas if Magda would have slept with him. You're like,
I don't care about Joey. She made promises to herself.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly. You finally got it. That's why she made promises to herself. The hell with him.
You're like, Magda, come, you don't love yourself. What is happening?
Exactly. That's exactly my thing. I'm like, that's why I'm upset with her.
Okay.
With Matilda, if it would have happened and then he would have left, I'm like, well, she got what she wanted. She really wanted. Because she was pushing sex from the jump.
You're right. She was like, he's going to get here and I'm about to get him.
You better give me that goddamn. You better give me that goddamn.
I will take it from you. I will take it from you.
I'm a man. You are not in Africa anymore. I'm a man.
Niles was like, listen.
I'm an American.
But what cracked me up was Niles saying that like most of his relationships, it was just sex and he doesn't like that. I was like, yo. Okay.
Number one, I think that's his autism kicking in.
All autism does is make you like tell the truth more. That's all it does. I don't think that was a facetious at all. Like, I don't think he was facetious at all. I think he was legit.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was hilarious.
Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, they got married. It was so cute.
So, in that respect, if something would have happened, her and Niles break, I'm like, well, she was on her own accord. That's what she wanted.
Shout out to Niles. He's the only one who doesn't let the camera crew come all the way into the room once they decide to start getting stuff. He stopped that camera crew as soon as they got that door.
Because Matilda was already naked by the time he turned around.
No, she needed help getting out that corset. She was
tied
up.
Trust me. She Incredible Hulk that thing off. Trust me. Trust me.
She was like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Cut it off.
She Incredible Hulk that thing. When Niles turned around, she's butt ass naked. Booty butt naked.
I just like that Niles didn't even let them get a peek in the door. As soon as they got
because Niles they were trying to come. They were trying to get in. Niles looked back. She was already booty butt naked, bent over on the bed. He's like, well, goddamn. Y'all can't come in. Y'all can't come in.
That's not what he saw.
Y'all can't come in. I guarantee you, by the time she turned that curve, naked.
You could see her over his shoulder. She's just standing there and fully clothed.
No, she wasn't.
You're so crazy. She Incredible Hulk to close off.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But yeah, I think that's all the couples. Yeah, because we didn't get Adnan and what's her face, Tiger Lily. I want to call her Lily, but that was not it. We didn't get them. I don't remember. Oh, the other couple broke up.
Yeah. Sonny and Vaya. Oh,
yeah.
Sonny and Vaya are pretty much arguing over the time frame that she has to convert.
But the consensus was Sonny was going to give up. That's what happened. That was the consensus.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you know what? I give up. I'll choose you over my family.
Yes.
Let's get married. And she said yes.
Yeah. So,
which is insane.
Even though, so the timeline for her converting to Muslim is
nothing.
Unknown.
It's zero.
It's unknown at this point.
No, he was like, you practice what you want to practice, and I'll practice what I want to practice. But I don't expect you to convert.
Well, I expect you at some point to convert.
No, he has a hope. He didn't tell her that, but he has a hope that eventually she'll come around and convert, which is a terrible way to approach this. Don't do that. Don't hope for the future that they'll change a core belief of theirs. So,
and that's pretty much 90 days before the 90 days.
Yes. Any other shows that you are watching for funsies?
No. But
Future Commandos.
Future Commandos is like a cartoon on Max.
It's more than a cartoon. This show is hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Really violent.
We watched a show on Netflix called Missing You.
Oh my gosh. We were supposed to watch one episode. We watched all of it.
All right. This is like a murder mystery plot twist.
Yes.
Okay, I don't
twist on twist on twist.
I normally only do like maybe an episode before my ADHD kick in, or I'm like, I'm done. We binge watched
the whole season.
That from what 6 to like 10 or 11.
Yes.
Yeah. On a work night, binge watched it.
It's only 6 episodes.
It's only
but Calvin sitting that long in one show. That was it. Was
I couldn't turn away.
A record.
I put some of it together, but it was loosely.
Yeah.
And even what you think, they did even better.
And it wasn't like.
And it made sense.
Yes, it wasn't crazy twists. Like you will never guess it. It was like logical turns.
And it made sense.
It was good.
It's called Missing You on Netflix. Trust me, I don't really talk about shows this exciting unless I really like them. This show, and I don't even like murder plot twist shows.
It was just good. It's out of the UK, and it features this like black detective. The reason I wanted to see it was because it was a woman black detective that was doing like the murder mystery, which is I don't see that often. So I was like, oh, let's check it out. It was good. It was good.
If you like shows like that,
yeah,
you're gonna be mad when this show is done.
And it ends satisfyingly, but still has a cliffhanger. Like you still get a sense of closure for the season, but there's also still space for there to be more story.
Exactly.
It was really done well. It was so good.
It's so much. It's a bunch of bosses with mini bosses.
Yes.
And everything ties into everything.
But not the way you thought.
But not the way you think it's going to tie in. And even the way you think it's going to tie in, it's still not really.
We were throwing out all kinds of scenarios. And then it turned out to be like the most simple one. We're like, wait, what?
The scenarios, but you're going to have fun trying to piece this together.
It was good. It was
and
a good
the show, and the pace is really good.
Yes, it doesn't drag.
It doesn't drag. Because when it starts lulling, getting kind of lull,
something else happens.
Something happens and it picks it right back up.
Yep.
And you're too busy trying to figure out what's going on.
Yep. Yep.
If you get up and leave, you got to rewind because you missed something.
Right. It was a really good show.
It's actually a really good show. It's called Missing You on Netflix.
Yeah, 6 episodes.
It's 6 amazing episodes.
Yes. It's not a
it's not a long
it doesn't feel like a long watch at all.
It's good. It doesn't like you can binge watch it.
Yes. But
trust me.
You will have to stay in your seat.
Trust me. When you start watching, when you want to get up, something's going to happen to make you sit back down.
Right.
There's been plenty of times where like, you know what? I don't want to watch no more. I'm good. I'm finished. If something happens, I'm like,
And it happened a bunch of times. It was like, okay, I'll finish watching this in another room. You can do what you got to do. And he was like, it's too late. I need to find out what happened.
It's too late now. I got to find out what happened. Because now I don't want to forget where I'm at.
Right.
So mentally now I'm thinking I'm piecing it together.
Right. And actually, you did a good job of piecing a lot of it together. You really called a lot of stuff.
But it's really good.
It was great. It was really good.
Do you got anything else?
Oh, I'm currently watching Love is Blind Germany. And I can't. First of all, there's a lot of black people.
First of all, she's watching all of Love is Blind in every language in every country.
Yes, so they've been great.
I think next week she's watching Love is Blind Canada.
I would.
Or
I'd
Toronto
watch it.
or something.
I'd watch it. Toronto, absolutely.
Then she watching Love is Blind, the Tongan Islands. I don't know.
They're not going to do that.
Yes, they are.
No, there's not enough people to do Love is Blind Tonga.
Doesn't matter to you. You're still going to watch it.
It doesn't matter to me.
It'd be cousins on cousins.
They'd need to do it like New Zealand or like Australia.
It'd be cousins on cousins. You don't care.
That's messed up. But yeah, that's what we're watching so far. It was a great week. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Snow day.
Oh, you ready for the snow day? I bought Calvin an electric shovel.
For nothing, because I'm not going to go out there till the snow melts.
It doesn't make sense.
Joke's on you. Exactly.
What's your prediction? They're saying we can get anywhere from 3 to 10 inches now.
Get ready for work tomorrow.
That's what you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're recording this on a Sunday. I'm interested to see. It's been a minute since the area has had a huge storm. We're about at 5 years for it to be major storm.
Granted, Friday was something crazy.
Something
It was
else.
El Nino came through here and just dumped snow.
For like 2 hours, and that was it.
And
the snow is still here, by the way. It's still on the ground.
On the way home, I was sleeping on the bus. I woke up and I was like, it's dark. I got to my car,
It
came
was 3
back.
o'clock.
I'm like, it's moving. You can literally look up and see the clouds moving.
Calvin got in the door just as it came down hard.
I'm like, that's different. And next thing you know, it was just rain, snow, just like
sleet. It was rain, sleet, and then straight snow.
It was just rain and snow.
Hard. For like an hour. And then it stopped. We got like 2 inches in an hour. And we're supposed to have 2 storm systems coming through between Sunday night into Monday. So, Calvin's going to be using that electric shovel.
I'm not going to tell her. She figured out. I can show her better than I can tell her. How my mom used to say, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Okay. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.